inches from a side and 12 inches from anything else. Yeah. Well, 12 inches from another. Yeah. Yeah, the center. Are we starting? Okay. Do we need to do the chess clock or anything? Or do you care? Okay.
If you guys want to use it, we can. If not, I mean, it's not that big a deal. It's the first game.
Okay. Well, this is an elite game we are playing right now. I mean, I'm offended. Where's Horn, please? No, I'm just, I'm just joking. Yeah, mine is too. It looks weird because it's so close. Yeah, but so you're so you chose deployment, so I get to choose deploy first or second. I will deploy second. You got it. That's right. That's right. I took last place at Midwest Conquest. So for the camera, Midwest Conquest, last place. There you go.
This is the only thing I hate about this deployment thing.
Yeah. Well, look, you can use a fancy laser.
Oh, you could, yeah. Oh, that did help. I mean, I poo-pooed the laser thing at the start, but no, it actually is helpful. I do that a lot. I poo-poo things and find out, oh, that's actually useful. More useful than this. All right. Oh. Okay.
Do you want to use that at all?
Sure. I will use this to, I guess, just hit the button there.
You guys want our secondaries? So he's taking Big Game Hunter against me. Oh, sure. So I'll be player one.
All right. This is going to be the fun thing of calling deployment since he's deploying second and I have to guess where he's going to put all of his stuff.
Kingslayer.
Okay. Easy one. We're hiding demonettes.
He's got
hiding demonettes.
Big Game.
He will probably try and drop some infiltrators and move them around, but we will do what we can here. Okay.
Can you read that? So Butcher's Bill, Kingslayer, Reaper,
long range.
Big Game, Kingslayer, Recon. Got it?
So let us see what we can do with 48 inches. We can cover a lot of the board with 48, yes. But I think we're going to have to play SMRT. Okay. Because put these guys on too. I can't get that far corner if I do that. So I'm not going to do that. Instead of the building, I will just pick some more ruins to stand in. For now. These guys might have to do something later. We'll find out. But up here, at least, I should have good sight lane here. Sight lane. Oh, yeah. Look at that, Nathan. I can get all the way to the corner.
Oh,
well, not
burn.
the far corner, but.
True.
All right. I don't know exactly what he's going to be doing. So I need to get into his stuff rather quickly. We'll have another squad pop up here. Put the champion. And kind of want to keep all these guys together. I need to get up to him quickly. I don't know where he is going to be, though. No, we'll decide with these guys in a bit. These guys will get decided in a bit. Okay, let's have some fun. And this is why these movement trays are amazing. People who don't like them haven't used them. The movement trays are amazing. Let's get some go. It makes setting all this stuff up really fast unless they fall down like that. They're not supposed to fall down, but they have arms. Okay. This is odd numbered squad, so we've got the icon and instrument kind of on the sides. Okay. Other squad. Let's just charge the middle. 'Cause that's what we need to do.
I like those movement trays.
I know. I like when they first came out, I was like, bleh, why do we need movement trays? And then I started using them, and they're amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
I used them when I was running Gene Stealer Cult.
Oh, yeah.
I was using them, and they were super handy.
Well, at first,
I mean, and they were super handy as I was just taking things off the board as well.
I mean, it used to always take me forever to put down 30 models. Now I just had to put 6 trays down.
Right.
It's amazing.
So, units, just so I know, are they
Unit.
that's all one unit?
That is all one unit
Gotcha.
of 30.
Okay.
Which is going to get shot at. I already know that.
I mean, I shoot at stuff.
I know. I just wish you didn't have all the guns. This squad will screen her. Put the prince there. Okay, I've got an extra herald. I'll hang on to the herald for now. Okay, giant target 1 and giant target 2. Where are you two going? This is because I know he's going to put some stuff on the objective.
Maybe.
I should be going first.
Maybe.
I know. That's why I said should with the air quotes that you didn't see. And he wants to kill my warlord here. This is my warlord in my right hand. But I'm gambling I'm going first. I'm going to gamble. Have to turn it sideways to get the claws to fit. There's just not enough front line space. So, okay. These Reaper guns are gonna... I might put them in a building for support.
14 there, 6, 20 there. Do your big monsters only roll 1d6 for advance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and the rationale on this squad right here is they're going to kind of keep them, and I'll put my lord with his bolter here so he can, like, be happy. So, Nathan, other squad, this is my character for the Havocs.
Okay.
The Chaos Lord. Then these two. There are no good spots.
Building 10 with bolters just so I can have I need to be able to run 2 battalions with my Black Templars because Space Marines are so CP hungry.
Yeah. Are you trying to get in sight lines to make sure you can hit everything?
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. You don't know what I'm doing.
I know,
So
that's what bothers me.
Gearbox met guts?
I guess I could always put her up here and have her jump down, but that would be silly.
Gear guts.
I really wish I knew where his stuff was going.
Gear guts, mech bots, or whatever.
If I do this, I can get a flank, but he can just kind of hide.
On guts.
Yes, Gear guts is the name of his.
No, I'll just have her stay with the crowd. We'll
His
be back here.
Kyle.
I mean, he's going to be able to shoot her wherever she is anyway.
Hey, they can hear us now,
Nathan,
apparently.
Floor is
Hello,
yours.
chat.
Woohoo!
Welcome to the Iron
saying,
Halo
man,
TV,
look at that, like, stupid
where
deployment.
gaming would be
He
easy,
just put all the things in
it
one
would
spot.
not be hard.
Oh, I figured those guys would come up some more.
So welcome, chat. We're gonna go, I guess, through the let's go through the Slaanesh army list first. Why don't we?
You didn't put anybody in deep strike.
No, I did not.
Did I lose all the shoutcasters?
No, sorry, we're here.
Oh, okay, cool.
Think your voice.
Hey, I'm talking right now.
Is
that what you wanted, Jason?
That's right. You could also see exactly where my stuff is for your shot lining ups.
14
And now he's not
inches.
talking.
Well,
I
I'm
know.
just standing
I had to do
here.
the
I
thing.
feel like we can hear now.
Plus a charge.
Yeah.
I think they can hear
So
everything.
if you think it's going to be 7, I'd say 21 would be an ideal range.
Yeah, we had some technical difficulties. We figured it out, and now we're gonna go over lists, or we'd like you guys to go over the list, the shoutcasters.
Absolutely. I've got the Slaanesh list powered up here.
Okay. That's
So let's
also
go
a
over it.
problem
It is
child.
1,999 points.
That's right.
So
60th range, you'll just
I
hide in the
feel that's
building in the
sloppy,
back.
this building. You
16
should
inch
be able to make it
range.
2,000
line of
points on the
sight.
note.
Do not need line of sight.
Well, you're probably right, but
I'm
I
kidding.
agree. This is not optimized.
The guy who I'm totally not.
I'm just being silly. This is the battle of the
I mean, I'll
spoons.
take a look back if he gets like a lucky shot and like just.
In the HQ slot, we have one keeper of secrets. Special points if you can tell me what their weapon is called.
So is that laser corner?
Yeah.
Their sword is called something special.
Oh yeah, no
Then we-
idea.
I will be in range.
Oh yeah, it's a piece of trivia for you guys. What sword? What is the name of the Keeper Secret sword? Then we have a Shalaxi Hellbane, which is, I believe, the
It's
named.
gonna have to sit some.
Yeah, it's the name.
The
Keeper's
named
Secrets.
Keeper
Yes, does need line
Secrets.
of sight.
Perfect. Has some really cool abilities.
It'll
Just
say you'll be
it's
happy.
it's harder to kill.
Or you can hide it in the
Then
building 'cause
Seal-esque, which is the named double herald, I believe, that has the one person riding the other super person,
I will hold it
and
in
I think
place.
can attack
you.
twice. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
And Wit Stealer is correct. Good job.
Wit
Chad.
Stealer,
charge?
good job, Orange Brush
Just
Miniatures.
2d6.
You get a cookie.
Just a regular advance. Okay.
also the Demon Prince with a Herald, Celeste,
In a way,
has
I'm
a million
kind of
attacks or
worried about
something.
Changing his deployment.
Yeah, so it has a
I'm so
special
afraid of
called
the charge.
Deadly Symbiosis. The first time this model fights in each fight
'Cause I know
phase,
in-
you
in
can
prep, we're
either
like, okay,
attack
well,
with
he's
the
gonna
whip
have these
or
guys,
the
they're gonna
Dominion
push up to your
Axe.
lines. I'm like,
And then after
okay,
you
practice, no,
consolidate
he's
with
putting them
it,
all back.
you can attack with the other close combat weapon.
Seems pretty spicy.
Yes, and each thing has a bunch of attacks. So you have 6 attacks, 5 attacks, 4 attacks. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do. Oh, and well, it has. Oh no, that's the different thing. Sorry, it's
Yeah, here
Zesk
comes
here.
the big guys.
Where are the stats for this? So it has 8 attacks.
Okay,
And so it does 8
that's
attacks
fair.
with the
That's
axe,
scary.
and then 8 attacks
Is it
with the whip,
24 on the big
essentially.
gun or
So it's got
20
16
24-inch
attacks.
gun, yeah.
Crazy.
So right
Oh,
now,
except for the
it's
whip, it does
there.
D3 hits instead of 1.
Yeah, but you
So
know
it's
where I'm
8
gonna be.
D3 hits.
So,
What the hell?
you prepped. Fair
Hits,
enough.
not attack.
Attack, sorry. D3 attack.
Okay.
My bad, my bad.
Well, his flamer's
So it's got 16-ish.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then we have a battalion detachment again. So that was a Supreme Command. With one herald. Contorted Epitome, which is the mirror, the fancy mirror that can stop you from falling back from combat. Really nasty piece of gear, that. Have you guys played against it yet?
I have not been able to, but I've watched some games with it. It's pretty gross.
It's terrifying. I put tech in my list just to combat this thing. And I think if you're thinking about playing against demons at all, you have to have a plan against the contorted
Space
epitome.
Marines, demons.
And then we have troops. We have demonettes, which are 26 demonettes, and then Allure, so 27 demonettes. 30 demonettes, so 27, 30, and then 10. So some units of demonettes. Then a spearhead detachment of Emperor's Children. Cool. So an Emperor's Children with a Chaos Lord. And then 5 Havocs with Reaper Chain Cannons. 5 Havocs... 7 Havocs? No, 5 Havocs with Reaper Chain Cannons. And 5 Havocs with 4 Last Cannons. So you got 4 Last Cannons that can shoot twice. We got 8 Reaper Chain Cannons to clear some Horde. 30, 60, so about 70 Demonettes. And then a bunch of characters that want to eat your face.
I feel that the cacophony will be endless in this game.
Endless cacophony. Ooh, I see what you did there. All in all, if I were to play this list, I feel like I would have a lot of fun with this list. It has tools it does have tools to play the game. It can kill things. It can take objectives. However, I feel it doesn't have enough demonettes. I think you'd need at least 90 to 120 demonettes to really have enough screen in a competitive army to kind of cover you for the entire game.
Isn't that? It sounds like the Thousand Sun list that was doing. I'm sure it's the same thing with pink pores and about a dozen characters.
Exactly. There's once you put the characters in, it really changes the dynamic of the list because the characters do most of the heavy lifting. However, if you don't have enough chaff, the characters just get murdered.
Exactly.
I can give a little bit of insight as to how he built this list too. Everything on here is like new models, so it's like all the new cool Slaanesh stuff that came out. That's why Dennis is playing. So there's not really as much of a plan as it is. Oh, I've got cool new models.
But that's honestly one of the best ways you can build a list.
Absolutely.
What does it look cool? What looks cool? Yeah, I'm gonna take that. Does it look cool? Yes. Okay, perfect. I'm game. Let's do this. And I think there's nothing you can't really go wrong when you do that.
So I may have missed it. Did we go over the Space Marine list?
Not yet.
Okay,
that
cool.
is the next thing. If
we are well on our way into turn 1 here.
models.
Old Slaanesh is going first, so let's hopefully you can make
I
something
think the
of it.
Demonettes are actually the Juan Diaz metal ones that they put up for like the limited order.
Okay.
So I think it's actually the old metal Demonettes.
I can confirm they are.
And I can try to zoom in on them. We'll see how that
Exciting.
works.
I have post-traumatic stress disorder from those demonettes back from like 3rd and 4th edition.
They're great
remember.
models.
I remember getting beat by those and Tzeentch Flamers when I was playing Grey Knights. That was.
Oh, no.
ridiculous.
The irony in that statement is palpable.
It was. I think it was when Grey Knights were still in their 3rd edition codex. It was probably 4th or 5th edition. It was real bad. I was like, "This is so wrong." I should
That's
be
about
winning
as
this.
close as I can get right now.
Perfect.
Awesome. I love that sculpt is one of the best sculpts in all of 40k in general.
I think a lot of people
Yeah,
have flashbacks of just Slaanesh in general back from the Lash of Torment and like, was it 4th
Oh,
edition?
Lash of Submission.
That was
Lash of
it.
Submission. Oh my goodness. That was the most silly psychic power in all of the land.
Let me group up all your models to fit underneath this pie plate.
And here are my obliterators. They
Yeah.
say hello. Bye-bye, squad.
Used to call our chaos list the county fair because it just pie plates from everything.
Oh man, good old memories. So let's go over Nathan and his Ultramarines list. This is 1920 points. I don't know why it's
So
80
it's actually
points under.
it's actually 2,000. When I uploaded it, the points didn't come out exactly correct, but the list is.
So,
Battle
what
Scribe
you're
was being
saying
silly.
is it's a yellow card because there's a list
Yellow
there.
card. The Sons of Guilliman have decided to bring a spearhead detachment with Chief Librarian Tigarius, who is, by the way, one of the best librarians that Space Marines have access to, in my opinion, especially with his new Primaris state.
He doesn't die like a chump anymore.
He got a huge buff as well. So basically, he still kept his -1 to hit on an Ultramarine unit nearby at the start of the battle round. You can basically pick a model, and that is -1 to hit in shooting and close combat, which is pretty awesome. And then you have he can cast 2 powers, and he can reroll failed psychic tests and get +1 to cast and deny, which is crazy good.
Amazing.
So good. He's incredible for what you get. You also have an infiltrator squad. It's 5 infiltrators, great against deep striking stuff, which is fantastic. And they infiltrate, as their name suggests. In heavy support, we have a Centurion Devastator squad with 3 Centurions. Oh, no, more than that. How many Centurions?
That's just 3.
3.
It's 2 in
because
the
he's running them with last cannons. I see why. Oh, and rocket launchers. Wow, that is an expensive Centurion squad. So, 3 Centurions with rocket launchers and last cannons, which makes them very shooty at long range, which seems very Ultramarine-y. Relic Leviathan Dreadnought.
Good.
Because we all love the new Forge World Dreadnoughts. And a Thunderfire Cannon as well, because Thunderfire Cannons are one of the best things in the book. Then we have a super heavy auxiliary detachment with Robute Guilliman, who is brandishing his brand spanking new 350 points, because he's amazing still.
Without Ultramarine tactics, though.
What, sorry?
Without Ultramarine tactics on him, because he's an auxiliary detachment.
Yeah, granted, he doesn't get to fall back and shoot. Or get the extra leadership.
With his multi-damage heavy bolter or something like that.
Yeah, but it's rapid fire, though.
I think it's a flat 2, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's flat 2 damage. He gets, 3 shots at 24 and 6 shots at 12 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he has a Vanguard detachment, Sergeant Cronus. And what is Cronus in? It's Relic Scorpius, I would hope.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And then we've got 5 more infiltrators, an Invictor tactical warsuit for infiltrating warsuits of doom. Make that 2 infiltrating warsuits. And a Relic Sicaran Punisher. Oh, it's a Relic Sicaran. Cool.
Ooh.
Punisher tank. That's where Kronos is rocking. So we got this thing has 2 heavy bolters and a Punisher rotary cannon, which is heavy 18, strength 5 -1 at 36 inches. So you basically have 18 plus 2 more heavy bolters. Oh, and a heavy bolter. What? So 2 heavy. How many heavy bolters does this have?
Could have 3.
3 heavy bolters?
Yeah,
so
1
9
in the hole,
plus
2 on the sides.
18. Okay, so 9 plus 18.
27.
27 strength 5 -1 AP, -2 AP in heavy doctrine. Hitting on 2s thanks to what's his face. And then yeah, that's pretty cool. So there's so he's got anti-tank with the Leviathan, anti-infantry with the Relic tank.
I've actually never seen the warsuits on the table yet myself.
Yeah,
I have.
either.
It's odd because they have that special deployment, and it seems like in this game he's playing pretty conservative.
The thing about Slaanesh demons, they can advance and get you. So he has to deploy further, like far back, so those demonettes don't just like move, advance, and then charge you on the line. So luckily with this style of deployment, you can deploy towards the edges, and it's there's a lot more distance between you. But now we've got like the Havoc glass cannons and the rotary cannons, really trying to take out, I guess, that Leviathan Dreadnought. And the Leviathan Dreadnought can use the half damage thing, which really helps against the last cannons.
Well, he could have played a little cagey and, deployed the Invictor and then used the stratagem to bring it back. Since he's playing, isn't that an Ultramarine stratagem?
That does what?
To redeploy it?
I believe
yes. You can. Space Marines have a Phantasm stratagem where you can redeploy, but it works best when you go first and then they seize on you, and therefore you can move your stuff that you had committed back into your deployment zone. Because you can't redeploy it anywhere on the board. It's just you can put it back in your deployment zone. So it works best when you go first, and then all of a sudden your opponent seizes on you or something like that.
Well,
or
in this case, too, I don't think the Slaanesh army had any forward deploy or scouts or anything either. So he had no benefit to set them back.
Anything to deep strike, so.
And he also deployed entirely first before Space Marines had a chance to deploy.
That's true.
Right, correct.
So there's no chance for him to. Everything was set, and the thing is, even if he seized, it's not like you can push him out of his deployment. So there's no real reason for him to do that unless he was counting on seizing. But even then, I don't know if you'd want to charge a Slaanesh army turn one.
Well, you want to shoot it as much as possible, I think.
Yes. Countercharge.
Here, what we see though is we have like the 10 up in the top right-hand corner. There's 10 Slaanesh demonettes on that objective, and that's great. However, a Thunderfire cannon shooting twice will clear that unit almost just in one turn of shooting. So I feel like there should be a character back there that the Ultramarines cannot target to make sure that he just keeps his objective.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that's probably something that probably could have happened. I have a feeling that the Slaanesh isn't going to kill anything this turn, and we all know the Ultramarines are probably going to mop up a unit of Demonettes pretty quickly. Could be
then
pretty
again,
troubling.
another choice for the Space Marine player is with the two big units of Demonettes, to Tremor Shell both of them, so they just sit there for a turn, and then basically shoot off the characters, especially the big Keeper of Secrets, with all of his shooting in order to make sure that they don't come back and kill you, or at least kill the last cannon Havocs, because they're probably the thing that is the scariest.
I'm sure that's going to be priority target number one. And then what do you think would be probably the best second target to shoot at?
Well, if you slow down both of the big units of Demonettes, right, you don't have to worry about them hitting you with their super low move and advance and charge, and then you just kill honestly the furthest Keeper Secrets on the left-hand side of the screen.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Because the other characters,
yeah,
because the other characters are going to be slowed down by the big unit of Demonettes, as in they have to go around or through, and it makes the whole blob sort of like slow down. So if you shoot off that Keeper Secrets on the side and then slow down both Demonettes, it gives you another turn to then just be able to like mop up the big things that can kill you.
So what I'm hearing is Slaanesh needs the fly keyword 2020.
Absolutely. Or what you need is you need to use. I honestly feel that Chaos could learn a lot from doing summoning, because summoning can be really, really useful.
So with that being said, what about the new FAQ that just came out that said Chaos Knights could summon demons? I thought that was pretty interesting. What do you guys think?
I love it.
It makes sense. There's people inside.
I don't know why. I just want my Chaos Knight, like the Gallant, to run up to the field and go, plop, a Bloodthirster. Like, God, I want that.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Could be anything, you know. If you need to clear some chaff, you know, you could have a dude like summon a bunch of horrors, or you could have like I feel that a list of say 3 knights, right, and then all the reserve points would work really well because then you could show up to whatever game you want and just have 500 points in the you have to do spend 500 points for 3 despoilers, whatever. So 1,500 points, you have 500 points left, and allows you to summon whatever you need based on the matchup that you have, which I think would be really useful.
I think that'd be a really fun army to play and play against.
Yeah, I think so too.
How's summoning? It's still the 3d6 don't move?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Was that who did the demon list that started doing that in the first place back in LVO? The chaos summoning list. The one that we've been seeing all the time with all the plague bearers.
Are you talking about Jim Vessel?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Well, I do believe that Jim and TJ are both moving away from their traditional lists that have been so iconic for the entire season.
Mm-hmm. Good. The meta's changed.
Not only has the meta changed, but there's, quite reliable information that, the plague bearers might take a hit and chapter approved.
Oh. That's a better reason.
Yeah, I could see that.
It was cool while it lasted, though. Good job, Jim.
Yeah, exactly.
You got something nerfed. How's that feel?
That's my goal in the game, is to break something so bad they have to change the rules for.
I'm taking credit for the Death Gestures upgrade in Harlequins, and then possibly Kurtfall, but I was talking to one of the playtesters, and I literally sent him an email with wishlist stuff afterwards. Like, this is what Harlequins need to be good now. Like, Haywire needed to be Assault. Like, stuff like that. And I'm sure they were already thinking about it, because it was pretty obvious what needed to be fixed, but I'm going to take partial credit for my own pride.
Nice.
Hey, that's completely fine. As for Jim's list, Northwest Gamer, Jim did not summon. He had some summoning points to beef out his horrors sometimes, or to get the cheeky blue for the quick charge for a while there, or sometimes had the points for a spawn, as there's a cool little trick you can use. You have the summoning points for a spawn, and in the mirror match you can Treason Zinch an enemy 1,000 Suns Psyker, and you make him turn himself into a spawn. So all of a sudden your enemy's Psyker turns into a spawn. And so it only works in the mirror match, but there's a stratagem where you can make one of your Psykers turn himself into a spawn. And with Treason Zinch, you take control of an enemy Psyker, and it turns to your Psyker for that phase. So you can turn your Psyker into a spawn.
I love it.
So that's,
Can you do it to Magnus?
No, I don't think you can do it to Magnus. I think it just has to be 1,000 Sun Psyker. But like a sorcerer. Sorry, 1,000 Sun sorcerer, like a specific type. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, let's just say that is probably one of the cheekiest 1,000 Suns tricks I know from the book, which is fun.
Thank you, Jim. Please let us know what else you're going to break. That's not even broken, it's just adorable.
It's just funny. Yeah. It has to be infantry to spawn, says Northwest Gamer. Nice. So maybe just the infantry. So here we have the Space Marines going into their first turn, it seems. He's moving away from that Slaanesh demon prince on the far corner. With his, I'm assuming those are the Centurions, the ones that are in the middle of the table now.
The Centurions are off to the very far left. They're in front of the Hunter tank.
Okay.
And actually, the Slaanesh army did not get a kill on the Leviathan, and is just holding an objective and has a recon point.
Oh, those are the Levy and then the 2 Invictor warsuits. Okay, perfect.
Correct.
Makes sense.
The Leviathan took a shot from all the Havocs, used the half damage strat, and pretty much came out unscathed.
Oh.
I feel like I probably would have shot the Leviathan to bait out that stratagem and then Endless Cacophony into the Warsuit.
The Warsuit can't use that stratagem anyway.
I would have just shot the Warsuit then.
So yeah, you try kill the Warsuit. Another thing is, whenever I'm playing Space Marines and I take a Thunderfire Cannon, I always make sure that my tanks are around that Tech Marine, because he is a Tech Marine and he can heal tanks. So he can be shooting with his Thunderfire Cannon and healing a tank in a pinch, which has helped me keep my keep my Land Raider alive a lot longer, keep my Storm Raven alive a lot longer, as long as they're deployed in a place where they can support each other through the game.
That's a great idea. I know a lot of people probably have it in their head where you have to forego shooting to heal from back in like 6th, 7th, all the way back to 3rd edition, but I wonder if that was kind of like an oopsie daisy.
No, it didn't make any sense, because that was one of the reasons people didn't use Tech Marines for a while. I mean, think how many points you pay for a Thunderfire Cannon at this point. Is the Invictor a vehicle?
Well, something, yeah, he is. Something that people forget is that your Tech Marine can be 6 inches away from the Thunderfire Cannon before the Thunderfire Cannon, gets destroyed. So the Thunderfire Cannon moves 3 inches, and you can activate and shoot him if the Tech Priest is within a certain distance, and then the Tech Priest has to be within a certain distance to heal. So you can actually move him around sometimes and get a quick little heal on a vehicle if you really, really, really need it. And that's just something to keep in mind if you're a Tech Marine user.
That's a great idea, yeah. Just makes the Thunderfire Cannon that much better.
It needed it, right?
Well, let's just say the Thunderfire Cannon with the new Marine book got an incredible buff. First of all, it got a 2-up save. Secondly, it now hits on 2s, not 3s.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a unit at all in the Space Marine book that did not get a buff?
Scouts.
Tactical Marines.
They dropped a point, didn't they?
Yeah, but they're still useless.
I don't disagree with you.
With the infiltrators are much better options for troop.
I keep trying to tell all the people in my local group that infiltrators are good, and they'll just say they're too expensive. They're too expensive. I really think they have so many good uses.
Yeah, they're super useful.
It also depends whether or not your opponents are using any of the things they block out. So if your opponent has no scouting things, then that doesn't really help. If they have no deep strikes, that doesn't really help.
Yeah, if you have like a Gene Stealer cult player in your community, those infiltrators start becoming very relevant very quick.
Yes.
True.
They're also really good against that Bloodletter bomb.
That's true.
Oh, agreed, 100%.
If someone in your local meta likes to put 30 Bloodletters right on top of you, they will handle that.
Or if someone in your local meta likes to use Hero's Path and drop some Harlequin characters behind your lines.
Nobody would do that.
Dude. Salt. The funnier part is because I think it's not a Deep Strike Reserve thing. I believe you can use Twilight Pathways on the Solitaire. So you dump yourself behind lines.
I don't believe so. Anything that gets put back on the table, I believe, would fall under the category of not being able to do that. If not, you could do that with the.
I thought you could with
the
Dark Matter Crystal.
You can't do it with Dark Matter Crystal, which is pretty much the same thing. So
I thought they said you could with things like the jump.
Not anymore. They took it away.
Okay.
They did, and then they didn't, and then they did, and then they didn't. They've been flopping back and forth. But as it stands,
at this moment in time, next time they flip, you can go back to doing.
However, speaking of that, didn't the new Space Marine FAQ say that you could move after getting out of an impulsor now?
That was just the rule in the impulsor, I do believe.
that's
They
just
had the assault
they
vehicle
just
rule.
clarified it.
Well, right. The rule before was that you could disembark.
I thought you could always move after that. I thought that was the whole kind of
So
point of it.
disembark is not a move. So you just being able to disembark just means that you get to move after you disembark. It's not technically move. Just before you can only disembark if the vehicle hasn't moved. So now you can disembark after the vehicle has moved. It still allows you to move the unit once it's disembarked.
I really like that little tank. I think it's going to be awesome.
I'd love for it to come out.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. I feel it's one of the first things that it's one of the first times I've ever seen GW release rules without models like being available in a long.
Yeah, they moved away from that whole strategy for.
It's
Let's
kind of
just,
silly
hope
too
that it-
because that's kind of a key unit for the new Space Marines. Or maybe
Honestly,
not a key
it's the
unit.
tank. It's the tank that the Primaris should have came out with. Honestly, like it's
Agreed.
just
Mind
okay,
Raider.
but they really needed a transport first.
Agreed.
So for everyone in the chat who hasn't heard us before we got everything set up, the terrain out here, the big Necron buildings out here actually counts as ruins, so that kind of helps. I know that it seems like the Space Marines didn't really get a whole lot. Outside of that, I do believe they were made by Mr. Barron here. Would you like to talk about those?
I would love to talk about them. Too much. So, for everybody who doesn't know me, my name is Constantine. I'm the Magnet Baron. I have a creeping black lab who's trying to bring a squeak toy next to this the whole time. So if it sounds like I'm running away from a dog, I am. I'm sorry. The Necron terrain there. It's 3D printed terrain. We actually started doing some ferromagnetic terrain recently, meaning that we've done some things. So if you magnetize your minis for a battle foam, a table war case, cookie sheets, you put your minis on top of those things there, and they're going to stick to them, same as they would stick to a table war case. So you bump the table, and they're not going anywhere. So there's I've had a lot of issues with tables getting bumped. I play Eldar, so my Rangers would continuously fall off the top of sniper nests because I put them on the third story of some buildings.
Not those old
seems
metal
pretty good.
Rangers.
No, the resin one's much worse.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. So half the tips are broken at this point.
Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, you're good. But so we've started making ferromagnetic terrain now to start preventing that as part of our whole system. So if you've magnetized your minis, you're already ready. We have a couple different lines of terrain at the moment. One of them is the Necron stuff. There's a pyramid for those of you guys who want to put a gigantic pyramid on your table. We have one. The obelisks. There's a landing pad. I believe you have a landing pad and the ziggurat over there. Then there are a number of different other Necron pieces as well. Sci-fi, sort of not necessarily Gothic, but more modular Gothic sets. It's like the Outpost Origin set from Dragon's Wrath, But there are a couple different pieces coming out. And if you
by
guys
the way,
want,
the Leviathan is getting ready to shoot.
oh my God.
Oh, shooting at the non-named Keeper of Secrets.
Oof.
One last thing though, if you guys want, we're about to start designing some of our own terrain, and I've had requests for orcs from a couple people on the cast with us. And Tyranids, if you guys want to vote, we'll go ahead and design the style of terrain that you guys want to vote on right now.
So, where would they find all this cool new terrain?
If you go to themagnetbaron.com, left side of the page, directly under Warhammer and AOS, you'll see terrain right in there.
I like
Takes
it.
a couple days. It's
One little question
been a
though,
trip.
is the magnetized strong enough to, like, if I were to put some big magnets on a knight, would it like lift it up off, or do you have any problems moving bigger characters like that around?
At some point you will, but it's proportional how big the piece of terrain is. So that huge ziggurat, the big one, not the one's larger than the landing pad, your knight would probably not pick that thing up because it's pretty darn big. I think you might even be able to fit like 2 knights on top of that thing
Cool.
for size. So it's heavy enough where it'll hold itself down.
I dig, man.
At
I think
some
it's
point.
cool. I can't wait to see more of it.
We're trying to pump it out now. We got everything we need to do set up, and now it's time to figure out what stuff we're gonna start making. You guys seem to want orcs, so
I think everybody loves orcs. If you're not an orc player
Everybody
in
loves
your
a
heart
good
of hearts,
wall.
I don't know.
they're just so much fun. There's so much fun to kill. There's so much fun to be killed by.
We're all
Everything
just
hits on
one
5 and a
happy
6.
family.
And they started off as a complete joke faction back in the day.
Yeah, right?
Random scatter movement.
I've read some of the old like Rogue Trader rulebook. I'm pretty sure this game started out as a joke.
I agree.
We all just
when you
love
start
our-
reading some of the old rules, for sure.
Yeah, and the old fluff was just insane. It was great. I love it, but it was insane.
It's so crazy. It's like they made a joke and they just called it Warhammer.
Exactly. It was the Inspector Obi-Wan Sherlock Clouseau or whatever, the original named Inquisitor. Great stuff.
How's the
So-
Big Daddy Leviathan doing?
So as of right now, I do believe it just fired all of its storm cannons, and it didn't do
did
too
not
bad.
do too well. I think
It
he
looks
only
like it
did
did
2
8
wounds.
wounds total so far, so kind of lackluster.
Both Hunter Killer missiles missed, or no, I'm sorry, one
Failed to
missed,
wound.
and then they failed to wound, and then he made all but one save from the storm cannons.
Where's
Oh.
Gulliman on the table?
He is back here babysitting Cronus.
Sort of at the bottom middle.
Yeah, I think he's next to
Oh,
that
yeah,
war
he-
suit, kind of right there.
Makes sense. So, something else to note, guys, is if you're playing Ultramarines, Space Marines, make sure that you try and keep as much as you can around the bubbles that give you the rerolls to hit, rerolls to wound. It just really increases the strength of the Space Marine army.
Yeah, the new build for Space Marines is very synergistic, so you have to get used to everything, and like positioning is very, very key.
Yeah, it's one of the things he try and fix with Space Marines. You know, they might not have the most quantity of shooting out of all the armies out there, but what you need to make up for that is you need stuff that allows you to just make sure that it's very efficient.
Yep, rerolls for days.
So with that being said, I've actually got a buddy in our group who plays White Scars, and he's been playing like the intercessors with the auto bolt carbines. I didn't realize those things went to Assault 3. They're pretty awful.
They changed them from Assault 2 to Assault 3?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a lot of shots. Don't they still have the stratagem to auto hit if they're within 12?
I think they do, yeah.
That makes them terribly dangerous.
Especially for the White Scars in general, they jump out of something, assault or advance, shoot, automatically hit, and then charge something else. They're still pretty tasty.
Is there a max squad size you can do that with, or are you just doing 30 auto hits with bolt carbines?
Be 30 auto hits.
Oh.
That does. Oh
AP.
God.
Is that AP1 natural?
No, they
it's
don't
AP
have an AP,
0,
but-
but in Tactical Doctrine it would be AP1,
Okay.
which is still really scary when you think about it.
Yes. No, it's horrifying. Absolutely horrifying.
So
Two
one we
two
roll.
at neg 1.
Do we roll the 1? Oh yeah, there was one.
And all of these Space Marines, you know,
So
like
two-
we've
so
been
2-5 up.
Space Marines haven't really been the center of attention for quite some time in the meta. So we have forgotten to talk about Space Marines. We've forgotten how to prepare for Space Marines. I think this new codex is going to act as a sort of rude awakening to a lot of people.
I agree. I
Yes.
think a lot of people are going to get caught slipping against Space Marines, and then they're going to kind of get their eyes opened.
It's been such a joke for so long to bring power armor.
Believe you me, I still play Chaos Power Armor.
Yep.
Yeah. 3 editions now has it been since 5th? The last
Yeah.
time.
Don't get me wrong,
remember
they
Jaws
still
of the World
die, but they
Oh,
just
no.
kill kill things a lot better now.
They're cheaper and they actually punch hard because they're still kind of a pain to kill. They're irritating to kill. They're not free to kill, but they're also, I think most of them got cheaper and they kill more.
That they do.
Okay, here comes 9 5-up saves. Actually, not that bad. Okay,
Twitch
remember
Village
I said
Idiot
Jason
says,
Statham?
shocked at how quickly unit of intercessors can crack open a wave serpent. Definitely, especially with the tactical doctrine up, when they're -2, means that 3-up armor save on a vehicle is not nearly as impressive as it once was.
Okay, you've killed 13 in that squad now.
Yeah, it sounds like you could probably use 2 squads to pop open a wave serpent.
Are you gonna have
Don't forget the rapid fire strat.
Oh, jeez. Maybe 1.
command points? Yes. Well, I mean, are they like do you guys give
1 with a slight spike.
their leadership pin for the morale test? Gotcha. So I could still roll at a
That's such just an interesting thing of 8th edition, though, because you can use anything to kill a tank.
His shots at these guys.
I love that. I'm so happy
Go
with the
gadget
8th
las
edition.
guns.
Ugh.
That's so, because there's never any time where everything is useless.
This is the stubber. Okay. 4s.
Nothing made me more upset than when, like, a Wraith Lord, yes, that's right, a Wraith Lord would come into a unit of Space Marines and you'd just be like, well, I guess I'll die.
Right.
Oh, I've been preparing a global campaign for the Patreons, and I was reading the 3rd edition rulebook to get some campaign inspiration, and it was like reminiscing of like, oh yeah, this is the old to wound chart, which was relevant until the start of 8th edition, when if you built a mechanized list and you had only like strength 4 and strength 3 guns, like your entire army was useless pretty much.
Those guys fired. Did I weather your shooting phase?
Yeah, the good old days of when the humble las gun didn't kill anything.
By the way,
5 minutes
guys,
there killed everything.
at the bottom of this turn, we have to show a commercial.
Oh.
So I'm gonna mute everybody, Eddie.
Sure.
Our corporate overlords demand.
We should have done something cool. Could have been like, "Ba-da-da-da, this end commercial."
You should have gotten us to do the bumps, After these messages, we'll be right.
I like it. Next time we'll make sure that happens.
So most of my streaming experience is in my basement. So this is all a little overwhelming.
Turn 1 is silly, and I'm sorry for kicking that.
So we are live.
Oh, look, a score.
How do you do?
Okay, so after round 1, the Slaanesh demons got hold and hold more, if that wasn't clearly obvious. They did manage to snack up a recon point. The Space Marine player didn't have a very great turn as he only got hold and none of his secondaries. Let's just hope that maybe round 2 can kind of turn it around a little bit.
No kill.
Yeah, the Leviathan really didn't do that hot.
This is a spoon
I think
game, so I'm not totally surprised.
One of the most important things you can do is get a kill. So a lot of the times in ITC, you have to sacrifice your general thought process just to get
All
Yeah,
right.
I really think that with like all the Centurions, the Hunter, I mean, I probably would have tried to pick off those Havocs. Like the Thunderfire Cannon was -2 AP in Devastator.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Easy to leave it in that. Continue.
well, hey guys, we're gonna go ahead and do this commercial, and then we'll be right back. It is about 2 minutes and 46 seconds. And I'll let everybody
Hey
know
there, my
when
name is
we have
Reese,
about
the head
5
administrator
seconds
of the
or
ITC,
15
and I wanted to
seconds.
say thank you for checking out our Patreon. The ITC, or Independent Tournament Circuit, is comprised of tabletop gaming event organizers that have joined forces to create a global community of interlinked gaming events. The ITC provides guidelines for these organizers to help start and grow their local communities. The ITC also tracks points earned for attendance of and performance at member tournaments and leagues on global leaderboards, which create excitement and are a lot of fun to track over the course of the season. Participants can engage in friendly competition to be the best in the world, the best in their region, the best with a given faction, or the best team for both the competitive and hobby tracks. Through the app our partners have created at Best Coast Pairings, event organizers also have access to a free, powerful tool to promote, run, and report their events to the ITC's database right through their phones. While we've done this huge amount of work to create this circuit out of a love for the game and the communities that grow around them, it's grown considerably over the years. From a small 450-person circuit in the first year run on an Excel spreadsheet, to now consisting of over 12,000 participants with sophisticated software to help keep it all organized. With this growth, the cost of running the circuit has also increased considerably. But before we go any further, we want to emphasize that the ITC is absolutely free to participate in. You do not have to pay a penny to join in the fun and take advantage of the support network we've built for community organizers. This Patreon is entirely optional. Further, we pledge that 100% of every dollar generated by this Patreon will go back into the ITC. If we manage to exceed our core operating costs, we will use excess revenue for exciting projects like flying regional, competitive, and hobby track champions from around the world to the Las Vegas Open, the ITC
I did
Finals
not find
event,
your
so that
friend,
they can
Kyle, by
come
the way.
and represent their home region or country on the
You
grand
can't
stage
find him,
of the
like, find him,
circuit
find him?
finale.
Yeah.
We also envision even grander and more
Yeah, just, like,
exciting
message
prizes
me and I'll,
trophies for the winners,
I'll
regional event support,
message me and
improvements to
I'll-
our software, and so much more.
Did I have you
All
as,
of these ideas
was I
require
messaging
funding,
directly or
though,
through
and that's where we
page?
hope you can help.
Just through a page, wasn't it?
If you enjoy what the ITC has brought to your community, if you would like to help support
Is this
its
thing
continued
playing
growth,
Twice?
consider
Did I
supporting
mess this up?
Patreon. Thanks for watching
seems a
and
little
happy
long.
gaming from your
Yeah, I
friends
think I
at
might
the
have messed this
ITC
up.
and Frontline Gaming.
Up, yep. Okay. And we're back. Or we will be. Okay, now we're back.
Hooray!
I did it.
Hello, everybody.
So I don't think
we're
we
back.
Also, our
started off
mics
kinda-
were hot the entire time, so.
Yeah, no, the view that I have on here doesn't have any audio, so they couldn't hear us.
And if you could, congratulations. I don't
Little
think we
peek
got to
behind the
run through
curtain.
everyone at the beginning of this, but if anyone would like to introduce themselves, tell us
Between
who you
two
are, what you
ferns.
do, all that fun stuff. Scary, you want to start with you?
I am Scary from Scadcast. I play Dark Eldar, and I will take your soul.
Solid. I am the Magdabaron Constantine, the Blind Swordsman from the Magdabaron.
And I'm Kevin from Preferred Enemies Podcast. I have I own way too many models.
Don't we all? Well, we really appreciate you guys coming out today and helping us out, just kind of talking about 40K, one of the favorite things that we like to do.
And Cody, you want to introduce yourself too?
Oh, well, I'm just a local guy. My name's Cody, and I'm just kind of here hanging out.
And
Rocking and rolling.
And I'm Doug. I was the head TO at Siege World, and I am filling in for Jason because he's running Iron Halo.
So he's being lazy is what you're saying.
100%, yes. I can see him out there. He's just standing around doing nothing.
That's because BCP is so good. You don't need a lot to run an event. And
that is true.
Thank you, Paul and friends.
Oh, man, let me tell you. I couldn't tell you how many times we'd all gather around the pillar trying to find your name, look for what table you were on. Like, it was a madhouse.
Yeah, we ran Midwest Conquest our first year with about 60 people off a spreadsheet. I think after one of the rounds, we entered everything incorrectly and had to redo pairings. BCP, and we've not had any issues since then. It's so great.
the only thing I messed up with BCP once is clicking the restart tournament button, and it was like round 3. So I had to go. Thank goodness I had a paper trail, or else I would have it would have been a bit awkward.
You figure like that kind of button would be like an "Are you sure?"
3 times.
Yeah.
I feel like
I think it was. I think I was just in a rush and I just clicked yeah because I thought it was like move on to the next page or something. I wasn't paying.
Need to bring back that guy. Show up. Hey, I see you're running a tournament. Would you like for me to screw it up for you?
What would the 40K version of Clippy be?
Oh man, a grotty, like a little grot or something, or maybe like a servo skull, maybe one of those little cherubs.
Skull, I think, might be good. Ooh, an ammo cherub. I like that.
You just kind of fly up and be like, "Hey, what's going on? I'm holding a melt-a-bomb. You want me to screw up your tournament?"
Would you like to nuke your results and start over?
That really should be like a big red flashing button on there. That, or you know, you could make it so you could restart the tournament, but rather than like go back to where you were.
Or have an undo button. Undo restart.
Exactly. I mean, actually.
I kind of did the same thing for myself.
I didn't realize there's a kill switch and a thing like that on the back end. That's pretty funny.
Real 40K's played.
Well, you make mistakes and live with them.
Up.
Yeah, we do.
So it looks like we top of turn 2 here. We got some demonettes that have obviously decided to sacrifice their lives for the greater good. We've got a Slaanesh, the special named character, coming up the midfield. The other Demon Prince coming up the midfield. We've got the Epitome on the left side or right side, whichever way you want to look at it. And the other Demon Prince kind of coming up. I wonder what their targets are going to try to be. Maybe try to pick off not Magnus, Tigarius.
Yeah, so the big unit of Demonettes in the middle there still, they were impacted by Tremor Shells last turn.
Yeah.
If I was able to get her to like right
Good choice.
I could smite him.
But there is a unit of Demonettes right on top of the Marines.
Okay, are you ready for some
Apparently, they didn't get tremor shelled, but if the Slaanesh player doesn't wrap those dreadnoughts properly, then they're just gonna fall back and shoot like nothing.
They might even do it in Overwatch.
Wait, yeah, we'll start with the silly one.
So earlier, I do believe Scar was talking about having a character back here on this back far right objective. There actually is a Demonette character back here to help support those 10 Demonettes. So at least he was thinking a little bit.
Well, that's good.
The sad thing is her best one, you have squads of 1. She's not.
What's the range on the Epitome? What's the for the can't fall
It's a
back from?
6-inch bubble for it.
Cool. That's probably not going to come into effect right now.
Okay. Unfortunately, I think you played this really well.
Well, I messed up some of my messed up deployment, but
No, I mean this part.
oh.
So something that I've noticed as well is, the Slaanesh player taking the middle of the board is definitely going to really be helpful. Being able to get hold more throughout the course of the game as he puts a lot of pressure. It's going to force the Space Marine player to clear out everything and then push into the middle. So we'll see if the Space Marine player can do it fast enough before the end of the game.
24.
Okay.
You think at this point maybe you just try to like suicide run that Invictus Dread like all the way down there to kill those demonettes, or maybe start taking those infiltrators and just kind of like going hog for that, or
I feel like you'd use, so if with that Invictus Warsuit on the far right hand side, you could move up, try get into those Reaper Chain Cannon Devastators, I mean Havocs, and use that to leapfrog yourself up to the top.
Yeah, I think that's the right move to make.
She is also going to try to do that. Won't work. That won't. I got one.
Not getting kill on kill more first turn is gonna hurt real bad though.
Especially because sorry.
I was gonna say because Slaanesh is getting hold and hold more in exchange for a while. So the Space Marines have to get kill more to stay up, so that when it starts getting closer to the end of the game and they have the middle again, they can catch up. And then win and take the win.
What remaining power?
I agree wholeheartedly.
Do you think the Ultramarine player goes into the Tactical Doctrine next turn, or maybe tries to stay in Devastator, or?
His army looks like it's built for Devastator.
Yeah, it really is.
It definitely does, but I wonder if maybe you just go into the Tactical Doctrine, because you don't. The -2 only helps really against the Space Marines. You don't really need it against the demons per se. So I wonder if maybe just being able to move and shoot with no penalty would be better.
Okay.
No, it's invuls across the board, isn't it?
Except for the Marines, I do believe. Yeah.
Okay.
Goes off with an 8.
Yeah, being able to
I
move
could see
without
going
penalty.
into tactical just for that reason.
Goes over an 8. That's fine.
But it looks like the Space Marine player is down to 1 command point, and our Demon player is down to 3. Looks like they had a pretty good first round of just burning them up.
The Cacophonic Choir, which is the one that if I roll 2d6 and it's
Yeah, Space Marines are so command point hungry. I've seen Space Marines go through, 10 to 15 command points in a single battle.
It does 2 additional.
Wow.
So it goes off
Incredible. They need a brigade of guardsmen.
Okay.
And she also is like Tigerius, has the +1.
At least Ultramarines have Scryer's Gaze, which gives them a free command point every turn, which is actually a big deal if you take the Psychic.
The other power is
Smite.
Yes.
-1 leadership or Smite, but I'm not doing the -1 leadership because I'd rather try and do the Smite.
So it's a 9.
Yes.
I'll try to get that one. So he gets to re-roll.
Oh.
It's interesting to see the Space Marines as the new wave of Codex beginnings.
Yeah, he's 9 base +1 cut for Ultramarines.
It is very exciting. Like, I feel like they're just so much more like fluffy because they just hit like a truck.
Okay, so nothing.
It's so much more dynamic, fluffy. You can do so much more with them.
So she needs a 6. She got to 6, so it goes off with a 7.
No, I've already done my 2 denies, so.
It seems like they did a lot to balance the whole book in that there's a number of different builds now.
Hurting you so badly.
Well.
All right. That's it for Psychic.
Yeah, I think they upgraded a lot of things, like made Centurions good again, which they hadn't been good for a while.
Really wants that guy.
I love my Centurion Devastators. I've been running them recently. I also like the fact that the internal balance of the Codex is quite good, which means that they, like, different Space Marine chapters sort of trump other Space Marine chapters. And they play very different. They play differently all across the board, which I really like.
With that being said,
and they all play fluffily, which is nice.
Okay, 32 shots.
I don't disagree with you there. I think that there's definitely, every unit has a place now. Like, you can really fit any kind of one of those units in, outside of Tactical Marines, into something and be like, yeah, this is going to be useful. It's not just going to be an absolute dog turd.
So they are just going to...
Agreed. I think they did a really good job balancing this Codex. At least in...
Unfortunately, here's where I'm
I think it's yet to be seen how it impacts the overall game.
Yeah.
He's T7.
And I'm only strength 5.
With the new Codex
I do
and everything,
feel that...
Go ahead.
I do feel that the impact is going to be significant, but it's not going to be as bad as people think. The thing is, everybody has Space Marines in a closet somewhere, so I feel like the impact is going to be felt very soon after release, instead of like Genestealer Cult, where it took months for people to build up enough acolytes and whatnot to really build some of the stupid builds. So we're going to see the stupid builds for Space Marines a lot faster, I feel.
I'm good with. Well, you have a small elite army. I have.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, who doesn't have just like a spattering of Space Marines somewhere where they could just roll them out?
Yeah, I'm looking at my shelf of gray plastic right in front of me.
Yeah.
I've got a whole room of gray plastic. I've really been failing on that war.
I really need to kill the Leviathan.
What about
Eldar are going to be
So we're
next
gonna
too,
have
which
this
is
squad fire
the
at the
second
Leviathan.
tier as far as
Alright, so
everybody.
CP,
Not everybody, but half of everybody has Eldar.
Okay.
Some faction of
That
them.
won't matter for this squad, but it will for the other squad.
I do get it back.
I think Eldar are going to get really good buffs. Like I love Banshees. I'm just a. I know they're not the best, but man, they're just cool. And the new Incubi and stuff, new Jane's R, like they're just killing it with the model wise. I just kind of hope they got some rules to match it.
8. And then
Yeah, those new models.
Being a Dark Eldar player, I'm loving the new.
Okay. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. Lots and lots.
When
and
does Phoenix
lots of
Rising come out
shots.
again?
I think
Do we have a
it's
date?
above that.
I don't know
No,
if they had
not
a
yet.
date.
I just
They're
need
doing
to-
a lot of the previews though, so I imagine it'll be soon.
See, this is the
I just
easy
need to
spot.
know when I
They're
need
ruining it for
to
everyone.
blow a
Okay.
hole in my
So
wallet.
good. So now,
All right.
I was gonna say with all the new Space Marines and stuff, what's everyone's favorite chapter?
by a little bit, I mean
Grey Knights?
with feet.
Black Templar.
For people who this bad radio, I'm just kind of giving him the stare down, doing like the shake my head.
Oh, look at this squad here.
One day.
Yeah,
Oh my
Make
God.
Titan great
I really-
again. Yeah, 2020, we're coming.
that's a lot.
I really like Iron Hands. They've always been a fun,
2, 4, 6,
and I really like the
8,
rules they
10,
got.
12.
So 3 ups, right?
Oh yeah, the rules are amazing.
Bandwagoner alert.
I've
What is it?
always liked
I
that
got
that
Slaanesh
chapter.
through.
Yep. You got
What's their
Hipster
thing?
bandwagoner alert.
Is he down a level yet?
He one.
Plus,
one
What's
more,
Iron Hands
He'll
thing?
be down this middle tier.
Okay.
I'm a Black Templar player through and through. That was the first Space Marine army I really got fully painted, and if they come out with an Emperor's Champion Primaris guy, I'm all in. It's gonna hurt real bad.
I knew I liked you, bro.
I can't say White Scars. I wish I would rather play Ravenwing as with White Scar rules, but
Actually, the Raven Guard look like they do White Scars better than White Scars.
So 4 4-ups.
do they have hit? They don't have hit and run, do they?
They don't. They have a Warlord trait that lets them pull a bunch of dudes out. They have a stratagem, or well, they have the infiltrate. They have a bunch of charge bonuses.
Yeah, they have a relic that if you're within 6 inches of the Warlord, you can advance and charge.
Right.
And have them shoot again.
Okay.
Because
No, he was at 7. He was at 7. He did 3 to him. He's got 4 left.
Okay.
He's still in his middle tier.
still in his middle tier.
I just
Reroll
think the
a
White Scar
one.
models are
Yeah,
lame
do one more,
Ravenwing
he's at the
models.
bottom.
I'm gonna
And the
go
bikers.
2 and 3.
So 3's one.
Really just means the White Scars need better biker models.
They do. Like, do you think they're going to come out with maybe like a Primaris kind of like jet bike style, or do you think they'll go back to the old 2 wheels, or what are we thinking?
Given that how many grav tanks we've got floating around,
Yes.
I would say that jet bikes are coming, especially we already have the Dawn Eagles floating around too in the Imperium. Obviously Custodes, but we've already demonstrated that GW is not afraid of giving the Imperium grav bikes.
Yeah, I think that would be cool anyways.
Who
I'm actually really
doesn't love-
surprised they didn't get him already.
It's just such an interesting rollout because he said with the Impulsor, the little guy, that didn't come out first with them.
Right. Yeah, the rollout for some of the Space Marine releases has been weird.
Well, to be fair, I feel it has been very strategic because what they successfully have done is getting the general population of gamers to crave and want more Space Marine stuff, more Primaris Space Marine stuff, right?
For sure.
And iconic things like, a Rhino or whatnot, they were protected when they released the new Primaris things. And now what they've successfully done is sort of gotten the community to ask for more Primaris, which takes the pressure away from them to be the bad guys when the old Marine line dies. It's like we've sort of now started asking for it. If they would have released Primaris Rhino, Primaris Dreadnought, like right off the bat, and everybody being like, no, what happened to all my Marines? I'm not going to be able to play them anymore. Like, it would have, I feel like the backlash would have been bigger. And they've just played the slow game, and I think it's worked great.
I agree. I think that if people would have come out and just been like, here's your brand new Primaris thing, everyone would have just like totally lost it because they're like, oh, my whole army's invalid and I just can't play. And yeah, I think that they did it for a reason, and it's obviously working.
He has a flamer.
Fair enough.
So, when it comes to the game here, we did just lose the Leviathan Dreadnought just went down. We did Endless Cacophony and take him out. The Demon Prince made it into Tigerius. I don't really think anything else is happening. Oh, I think he's going to shoot some Overwatch with the Invictus Warsuit and charging some Demonettes.
Okay, so I'd have to land 3 wounds to second tier him.
Losing that Leviathan Dread's gonna really hurt.
That is. Let's hope maybe the Centurions over here can step up their game.
To be fair, the Leviathan hasn't done anything.
Well, that also hurt.
So
He failed.
he did pretty bad.
I feel like the Space Marine player is going to be playing on the back foot now because the fact that the Slaanesh army is in his face, and that objective in the middle of the board is safely in the Slaanesh control.
Well, this doesn't hinder you at all, so it doesn't.
But with that being said, can you ever really just like count Gilliman out? Like Space Marines, I do believe, has 1 command point left. I'll check with him. I think he might have used it to half the damage on the Leviathan earlier. But with Gilliman, he could always run out there and just mollywop something.
These need 3s. Okay.
True, Gilliman.
He is a beat stick.
I didn't roll any once. They're all so 2, 4,
Mollywop.
9 so far.
Is that a technical 41st millennium term?
I'll get back to you on that.
It's a low Gothic.
Okay.
And if that's a perfect description of me, low Gothic.
Okay, these are the stubbers. These need 6s, reroll 1s because of Gababi G. Oh wow, I got Iron Halo dice, baby. All right, these need 3s.
Got the players
Reroll
going for a little
ones.
bit.
Oh, so 2? Oh no, I don't get to reroll 1s, but it didn't matter anyway. So it's 5 total.
5 total?
Because these needed 3s to wound you.
Right.
Yeah. So 5 total saves.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've got 1 more. I've got my heavy bolter as well.
So you got 4 more down. So that's 9. So that's 13.
13. And then here's the heavy bolter. Man, I got another one. 1 more.
Yeah,
Save that
that's,
one.
that's the
So-
charge.
13.
What's bloody?
1. So how many do we have here?
13 of them died in Overwatch.
So here's 5. There's 10.
Wow.
I'm not
11, 12,
surprised.
13.
Gotcha.
What's it armed with?
It's got the Flamer, the 2 Iron Hail Stubbers, and the Heavy Bolter sidearm. And I do believe he rolled pretty hot on the Flamer.
And it's a strength 6 flamer too, isn't it?
Yeah, with Gilliman. No, he wasn't close enough to reroll 1s for wound, but
Right, but Demonettes are only toughness
T3.
3. Brutal.
Yeah, so, and the Invicta Warsuits are really good.
Those are dead.
My bad.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
gonna sting.
They're very important to magnetize, apparently. That was.
Is there-
It has been.
Is there someone
We
in
have a-
this that knows where to get magnets?
No.
See, it didn't matter for
No,
me.
no.
No idea.
Yeah, no joke. I literally got a message from somebody right as like the week before the Invictor came out, and someone goes, "You're releasing an Invictor Warsuit magnetizing kit, right? Here's the magnets you need." And I go, "Of course, of course. Here's the link. Hold on, give me 5 minutes."
wow.
Yeah, no, that definitely happened. I didn't even God, sometimes I don't even pay attention to like the I was like, oh, cool, there's a bunch of new Space Marine stuff coming out. Sitting here making terrain.
Can you find a way to magnetize our codex?
Closed?
So that I can just slot the supplement.
You just need big magnets, I guess. Or you take a paper cutter, cut the binding off with a hole punch, and call it a day.
Sounds like you need a print shop.
Yeah, I don't do paper. I do.
I do miss the old days of like chapter approved when you had to like and paste it over sections in the book. Those were the days.
Having to pay for every frag and crack grenade back in the day, I think I missed that.
Oh yeah, it was glorious.
Well, you used to be able to use all of them at the same time, so then it was worth it.
I guess that's true too.
Have a squad of stormtroopers run up to a chimera or up to a predator or something and blow it up. That was amazing. Back when they're the stormtroopers, not what are they, Casterkids now?
Military
Scions.
Scions, yeah.
Yeah, Scions. There we go.
I have some of the old Kezarkin models. They were amazing.
Yeah, they're classics.
They will get attacks at you, though. I know. Are they going to consolidate in for all 5 of them? Yes, they will. So you want to do that one first? Yeah, let's just do this.
Nothing like having a bunch of straight humans with laser guns and blow up a tank, though.
Those are called heroes of the Imperium.
They are.
He missed one, so 4 hits. And there's 4 of them. Need 2s. Only 2.
Hey, they'll live.
Yep.
Until morale phase.
Looks like the Keeper of Secrets got the infiltrators.
No, I killed Tigurius.
Oh, killed Tigurius.
And then consolidated into the infiltrators.
I totally forgot about it.
I did too, and I was the one that cast the spell.
Ouch.
And now Kevin's on the thing laughing at us.
I'm sorry.
Laughing
Yeah.
at me.
Well, I mean, at least I reminded
Well,
you.
getting that
I forgot about it.
that OBSEC unit
command
next turn will mean he
Does each
starts
have one?
getting those bonuses.
Cool.
Okay. So that's that one.
Okay, yeah, so they'll consolidate in.
Okay, and you're at
Yeah,
minus
you
1
can see on that other
Just 'cause she's
at the left,
50.
the middle left of your screen.
6, 8. Sorry.
Big old Keeper of Secrets on that bottom
We're getting a
objective.
lot of attacks because of shock troop or whatever the.
That's going to be one dead infiltrator squad. Well, they can move back and shoot, but still.
Everything because of Bobby G.
How many command points does Slaanesh have?
Each opponent has 1.
Okay, so no fight twice.
Yeah.
No, it's going to hurt losing Tigurius, though.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're only strength 4.
Okay, she's tough 7.
7, so 5s.
Yes.
5s reroll 1s.
It's also so
Only
satisfying
2
to
so
kill the
far. Let me
Gears.
see if I get any extras.
Any Bobby help hits? Oh wow, 2 Bobby help hits.
So 4 just regular good old saves.
Okay. Nah, I'm good right now. Thanks.
I would love a water. Thanks.
I saved 1.
Oh.
Tigurius is one of those models
Is he
that
dead?
No.
if you,
Oh.
the longer you leave him
I
alone,
got 3
the
field
more
pains.
impact he has.
I saved.
Oh, she's only got 1 win left. Victory.
Six,
So much
6,
incremental.
5.
It's the 2 psychic powers a turn, which is only a little bit of damage plus the -1, and it's just so.
All right, well,
It's
that
this
gets
little
my
plink, plink,
Kingslayer.
plink, and he's
That
really
goes to your
not
Kingslayer.
that expensive for the
Yeah, I
level
killed
of impact he
Tigurius. I
has
didn't
over
get
a
to kill
few
Bobby
turns.
yet, but he's hiding. Okay.
Of course not. If you're playing Ultramarines, it's definitely one of those
Yep.
units that
Yeah,
are
my
starting to
core
become
one, so
an
let's see if I
auto
can
include.
roll a
I've
1.
seen a lot of the.
Oh, yeah.
If I can
One.
roll a 1, these guys come back. If I roll anything else, they're all dead.
Sure. How much is it?
Do you want to take a look there?
Can I have a tab for you?
Oh my
I'll come back, I
goodness.
promise.
Oh my goodness. So the Keeper of Secrets was killed by the infiltrators. He had a 6-up Film of Pain and rolled a 6/6/5, had 1 wound left and is gone. So that kind of hurt. That did max out Kingslayer. And then he did just roll a
icon bearer is not one of the 3 left alive.
Oh, why you do that to us?
I know.
I know. I thought I had something great, and then
The icon bearer we thought was still alive. He rolled the 1 for leadership, but then realized he had pulled it earlier. So all those demonettes are dead.
That would have been so cool if they stayed alive, though.
Okay, so
that's it
Dennis,
for
I
morale.
have you at hold 1, hold more.
Well, that
You
changes
got 1
things.
kill for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
I got you at a big game.
Yeah,
I got
that's
you
rough.
For
I should have recon again.
Recon
Yeah,
again.
we
yep.
were thinking the Keeper of
It's gonna start
Secrets is
getting
going to start
harder
raising hell.
It was severely
I got
weakened,
kill 1.
but
You haven't had your turn yet.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So the kill more might not happen.
that's true. Okay.
Those
You
infiltrators
have to
quickly
put some guys back on
becoming
that little thing.
For whatever
eliminated.
reason, I thought that was. No. Wow,
Promotion.
You are a good player.
Boo.
All right.
Okay.
Man. Well, these are gonna go away.
Yeah, no more psychics for you.
No more psychics for me.
Not that it's going to matter much, because out in the
I
all my-
shun your
all my
pun.
Main characters in front now.
Okay.
Well, not all of them.
Movement.
Yeah. I feel
Oh
like
man,
they're
I
happy
love
now.
Live 40K. If you
bro.
guys haven't been just tuning in or you haven't watched games before, so much fun. So much.
So it's great for me because I moved out to
these guys are
Phoenix
gonna
a couple
advance.
years back. So
Okay,
now I'm able to like
an inch.
follow the Midwest meta and see like my friends playing games of 40K hit home, which is great. So it's I love it because it's a great way to stay in touch with the meta and just watch games of 40K. Appreciate what you guys do with the streaming on these events.
Yes, thank you
I
guys.
think I need to move.
It's definitely a lot of fun. Like I've only had the opportunity to do. I did Siege World and then this one with Jason, and I gotta say, this is definitely the best way to hang out and just talk about the game that I love. So
Yeah, I like hanging out and talking about the game I love too. So great.
Do we have a score from Slaanesh at the end of the turn?
yeah, give me 1 second.
Even with a dead
What are you
Keeper,
talking
it
about?
should be pretty hard to catch up.
Especially with the middle of the board, because even if he kills
I thought you
everything
got shock
there, you
assault
got
if you.
get consolidated into.
Oh. Yeah.
So
Okay. So
what Nate is saying is that he willingly cheated on purpose.
the one thing that we
On
just noticed was
purpose.
that thanks Twitch chat, appreciate that. That
Yep.
the infiltrators got the shock assault roll, and that's what allowed them to do the extra wounds to kill that demon or the greater demon. And
Yep.
so when you get consolidated into, you don't get the shock assault rule. So they decided to go ahead and bring him back with just 1 wound. He'll promptly die in the shooting phase.
Yes.
So yeah, the Keeper of Secrets is alive with 1 wound. Not for long.
No. But it does force him to shoot something at it.
That's true. No, that's
Where you wish you paid for that storm bolter on that hunter.
But that's actually a good point. Most of the time, Space Marines will get that extra attack, but not in that instance.
I didn't even think about it.
I didn't think about that either.
Yeah, it's one of those little subtleties. You know, if you're playing against Space Marines or, you know, you want to just prevent them from getting a lot of attacks, it's a great way to just stop that. And, you know, using pylons, consolidations, and other like ways to kind of get into close combat with the enemy can really prevent like some of those tricks to come in handy. It just shows once again how the fight phase is one of those phases where technical play is rewarded a lot more than in the rest of the game.
Absolutely.
It's one of the reasons close combat armies get a bad rap, though, isn't it? Because it's so hard to do it right.
As a Khorne Berserker player, yeah, I agree with you.
I have people tell me all the time, like, aren't close combat armies really bad now? I'm sitting there laughing. As a Harlequin player, I'm like, really? No, we're fine. I'm happy.
Wait,
Yeah, you just have to be really careful with what you do.
who's a
Wrapping
Corn
is
Berserker player?
I am. I'm also really bad at it, so.
I mean,
Oh.
me too.
They might actually be bad. It might not be you.
No, I mean, part of it's me.
Okay.
If they can make it into assault, they will mop things up. Really hard to get them there.
Yes.
It is really hard.
And much like Dennis, I go when he builds armies, he builds like an entire Slaanesh army. I build for theme too, so I don't things to like screen as I probably should to be like truly competitive. But it's also because I'm like, yeah, I want to run 120 Corn Berserkers and see what happens.
The sad part is, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, if I get into melee, I'm going to win. If not, I'm going to get shot off the board turn 2.
Well, or you kill something really hard, and then you die the next turn.
Exactly. At the LVO friendly, my list of 120 Berserkers hit up against a blob Orc Boyd's army, and it was great because like a 20-man unit of Berserkers would crash into a 30-man blob of Orcs, and basically whoever got the charge would just wipe the other unit over, would just slam into them and wipe them. It was pretty epic.
I was gonna say I wanted to see what happened when you ran to mirror match.
Right? Yeah.
Apparently, that's what happens.
Yeah, it's effectively if you get the charge, you just roll through the other unit.
And
charged,
the
and that
Keeper
unit
of
rolls
Secrets
through
is gone.
What took it out?
What killed?
Well, we have
the infiltrators took care of it.
Infiltrators could just fall back and shoot. However, did he put something on that objective?
Mm-hmm. No, everybody's fine with it.
Did he put something on that objective before he moved the infiltrator?
Bobby G's on there.
Oh, okay, perfect. I hope he goes. I hope he goes to smack that contorted epitome.
Yeah, you can see kind of at the. He kind of blends in with the ruin, but right there where the ruin touches the objective, that's where Bobby G's is at.
I can kind of see him, which is perfect. That means that he put something on the objective before he killed the thing.
Right. We're gonna find Jason here in a minute and figure out how to do the Madden thing where I can draw and stuff.
Fantastic. See, another thing I like that Invictor Warsuit up on the right flank going up against those Havocs. Hopefully he does use them. However, how wounded is that Invictor War?
I can tell you.
It's actually not wounded that much at all, I don't believe.
He has, it looks like 12 wounds left. Or at least that's 2 6s next to it, so I'd assume.
Yeah, they're counting down.
The only way to do it.
Right.
How many does Invictor start with?
Is it 14?
14 or 13.
Oh, I think it is 13, yeah.
Wow.
I mean...
Yeah, those Havoc shot at the Invictor and literally did 1 wound to it. It was not a very good round.
I feel like both these guys need a different set of dice.
They have to use our stream dice.
Oh, so your stream dice are the problem.
Well, and you also don't get to be in the Battle of the Wooden Spoon by like having good dice rolls.
100%.
Oh, blame
that's
the
actually
dice
a skill.
gods.
It's sort of like being top of the tournament. You don't get to be first place with just good dice rolls generally.
Right.
You can't be the bottom with like it takes some bad dice rolls to help out. Like there's plenty of people who aren't super great at the game that are just having a blast. Like
how does that sound? We started at the bottom, now we stay here.
I think somebody loaded their dice wrong. Guys, you're supposed to put the weight on the number you don't want, not the 6.
Oh, that's what I've been doing wrong.
Yeah.
So
I gotta learn to microwave my dice better.
I think I microwave mine too long, but I make the others watch.
I had this thing for a while when I had dice that would consistently betray me. I would just hurl them anywhere. So at some point when we move the furniture, there's going to be like a dozen little tiny dice.
Be like that scene out of Grandma's Boy when you lift the couch up, there's a bunch of dead cats. It's just a bunch of dice.
And Nerf darts.
So one of my friends in our D&D game had a D20 that just anything. So he actually like took it, ground it up, and then sprinkled it over the rest of his dice as a threat.
It's commitment.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of the dice started performing better, so there's that.
Yeah.
At the end of round 2 results.
yeah,
At the same
he's still
time, I
doing
feel like
Oh,
when it's as much psychology as it is average.
There are actually dice that are worse. The dice, I'm going to go show my factory colors for a second. The dice manufacturing process, generally, they throw a bunch of dice in the tumbler, and they just let the tumbler go to around the edges, so they don't come out square or proper for cheap dice. So there is something to be said for we'll call it improperly weighted, but not accurately sanded, not accurately cut manufactured dice. You do really have to go to a bit more of a precision factory. I don't know how much Chessex does or doesn't do that. I know a bunch of their dice, the more rounded the corners are, the more likely they're tumbled.
Let me tell you, I have stopped using Chessex dice because it's frustrating. They're almost like marbles.
Yes. The thing is, I use now, by the way, casino dice.
I used to use casino dice, but the only problem was that, like, I'm a huge pansy apparently, and trying to roll big bricks of them like hurt my hands because they're so pointy.
You just need a giant cup or mug.
I use like a goblet. I can wear a crown and everything.
Yes.
No,
actually, what I need to do is I need to get a top hat to roll my dice. That's the Baron.
Oh yes.
Can you also
for
get a
sure.
monocle?
I do actually have a monocle.
I think
Amazing.
monocles come with every top hat purchase, if I'm mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
the last time we were at Top Hat Emporium,
Yeah.
I believe that was the policy.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
The old Top Hat Emporium.
That's my favorite, haunt, I guess.
I don't have a cane anymore. I exchanged that one for a dog.
That's fair.
She was a good dog. She's very silly. She comes to cons with me.
I like it already.
My
My
wife
favorite little ambusher.
won't let me get a dog. Very sad.
He just dresses his kid up in a dog suit. Just pretends.
You know what you need to do?
Need
You need
dogs.
to take her. They do. You need to take her to go see some Labrador puppies or some Golden Retriever puppies.
Yeah, that would do it.
It usually does. She'll be picking hers out within 10 minutes.
Yeah, maybe in a couple years. The
Yeah.
baby just turned 8 months old, so
Oh,
we're
don't
still
do it
kind
now.
of figuring that out.
It's every time I've seen someone get a puppy and have a baby at the same time, I wonder why they did it, and I just see the parents are, new parents, and they're completely harried the whole time because they've got I've seen it with a German Shorthair Pointer, and if you know anything about those dogs, they are so active. They don't listen real well sometimes. They can be pretty stubborn. So you just have new parents trying to raise a puppy and a baby at the same time, and it is an absolute trip to watch. And you leave and you're like, "Ooh, glad I didn't do that."
Yeah.
as it stands, the Space Marine player, has he finished his shooting phase? He's still.
They're finishing up the bottom of the turn. So, Slaanesh has a whole, thinking it's going to be tight here for hold more. Oh no, it's not.
No, Holdmore's in the Slaanesh hands, like
Yeah.
pretty much done.
Pretty handily.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still. The Invictor now is shooting at the Havocs.
In retrospect, I probably would have infiltrated that Invictor suit up on that corner earlier in the game.
Yeah, that would have also forced him to shoot all the las cannons and stuff at that Invictor instead of shooting the Leviathan. We know that he didn't do a whole lot of damage that turn one, but it still would have been like a bait and switch kind of, hey, you got to look at me.
Distraction artifacts.
Another thing
term.
the Space Marine player seems to have having trouble with is the Butcher's Bill. Killing two things in a player turn. Because there's so many units. Like, there's not a lot of units in the Slaanesh army, so it's going to be hard. It's hard to get that secondary point against that army.
Right. There's not a lot of small units that you can just clean up.
It also means that, for example, with Butcher's Bill, with Reaper, there's almost. I don't think he can max that out, can he? Even if he tables the Slaanesh army.
Yeah, I think he might be just shy.
I think what he was probably going to go for was probably looking at like all these demon princes / characters and like some heralds and stuff. Maybe he was thinking he could just kind of like blow up a unit of demonettes turn one and then possibly slow a unit down and then pick out like a demon prince or a greater demon / another unit of demonettes and just kind of like pick up those butcher bill points that way and then just start picking off all these little chaos lords and the havocs, just kind of keep going that route to kind of max out that, and it just didn't pan out for him.
Yeah, exactly. No, so personally, as a Space Marine player in this particular matchup, the secondaries I would have picked would have been number one, engineers, being that he has little to no line of sight shooting. I could keep a unit of infiltrators on the objective and just kind of zone them out. I would have taken Kingslayer on one of the big beasties, and I probably would have taken Old School.
No, I totally agree with that. I think I also would have just castled up on that objective in that back left corner. I think that would probably been the best bet. Just sit back there and literally but come to me. I'm gonna blow everything away that walks through these containers here, and then take an Invictus Warsuit, put it on that right side as the distraction Carnifex, and then just kind of force those Havocs into shooting something they don't want to.
Yeah, or both of the Invictor Warsuits, so that if one dies, the other one gets to the backfield, forces the Slaanesh player to divert attention that way.
Ooh, yeah, I do. I think I would like that a little better. You could even done it with one of those units of, keep forgetting their name.
Infiltrators?
Thank you. The one thing they do is infiltrate. Good Lord.
So another thing is, I feel like the Slaanesh player definitely picked his secondaries better. Did he pick Kingslayer on Gulliman?
No. Yes.
Okay. See, I feel that is always risky because I guess with his army he knows he's going to get in, but killing Gulliman can be a pain in the butt sometimes.
Especially in an army that doesn't do a lot of mortal wounds and no death hex. It just seems that, man, some people can roll 3+ like there's no tomorrow.
If Gilman stands back up, does Kingslayer still... I guess it would still count, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's for every wound you do, so basically you just get to do more wounds to him, essentially.
Okay. It's every... 3 wounds?
No, it's 2.
I think he's a monster.
He's a monster, isn't he? So it's every 4.
Every 4.
Oh. Then yeah, that's not a good choice at all.
That's a max of 2 points there.
Well, if he stands back up.
Now,
but then he only gets D3.
No, he gets D6.
Oh.
When you put
Roll
Kronos
high.
in a vehicle, does he count?
Yeah, I think he might.
Or
so
does
maybe
he pop
did that.
out after you kill the vehicle and then run away?
That's a good question.
He can pop out after you kill the vehicle, and then he's just an infantry model.
Okay, so yeah, you wouldn't get any points for that.
It does make sense.
All right, so
other than
now I have
that-
the total. He did get Nate did get a butcher's bill.
What 2 things did he kill? Did he
killed
kill
the demonettes and
Havoc?
He killed the demonettes and the
Greater Demon.
Keeper of Secrets. Yep.
The demonettes he killed at the bottom of the Slaanesh chain. Butcher's
Right.
bill is
During your
only
turn?
in a player turn, not in a game turn.
Butcher's bill is now only in a player turn, or is that always?
You have to kill 2 things in a player turn.
I'll find out.
Oh.
Kill something else.
What 2 things did you kill in this turn, or in your player turn?
The Havocs, I would think, right?
And the
5
Havocs.
that are
Okay,
in that
Oh, yeah.
got
corner?
it.
Yeah. So it would
Yes.
be the Havocs. Yeah, Havocs
I didn't
and
see the Havocs
Demon
gone.
Prince. That's the thing about Butcher's Bill. Butcher's Bill is tricky in the sense that you have to kill 2 things in the player turn. So if you kill too much, you hamstring yourself for later in the game. However, it's one of the secondary objectives that you can score the fastest in the game, being able to max it out in 2 battle rounds, which means you can get 2 points in your turn. A point by killing 2 things in your player turn, then a point by killing 2 things in your opponent's player turn if you're in combat or Overwatch or whatnot, for example, and then do it again in a second battle round. So it's one of those things that you can really play with a lot.
I wouldn't have
Sounds
thought
like
of
a-
that.
It's an anti-MSU secondary. Really is what it is.
I play Venom spam, so I know.
Well, that ties it
You
up
just-
basically. That Butcher's bill
Wow.
was enough to tie,
Perfect.
and now Dennis is trying to figure out how he's going to react.
So you're saying we've got ourselves a game here.
There we go.
And the spoon slapping begins.
The epitome is getting ready to charge Gilliman.
That I'm sure that'll work out well.
For someone.
That's a bold strategy,
Yeah,
Cotton.
Well, she can always just forbidden gem Gulliman and have him drool. Just be like, "Durr," and just drool.
Not very much.
Sure.
It hurts me more.
There we go. Now you can see it.
Demonettes that are not slowed this turn are going to advance.
Well, now you can't. Nate's standing in the way.
A whopping 8.
So, as a Slaanesh player right now, I would definitely have to kill that Invictor Warsuit before it gets to my objective. And I would want to basically, I guess, kill the other Invictor Warsuit and pile into the Sakaran battle tank, essentially, with that other big Demon Prince. So I guess we'll see. He might be able to kill the Sakaran with Cronus and that Invictor suit and make Gulliman drool. And the Space Marine's going to have to start pushing up with those Centurions and that relic Scorpius. Oh, the Hunter. Is it a Hunter or Relic Scorpius?
It's a hunter.
Interesting choice.
It's like if you could go to the Space Marine store and pick, you could get any tank you wanted for free. Which one would you take?
Land
Land Raider
Raider
Crusader.
So clearly,
Hellblade.
you take the hunter.
No.
I'm gonna stick with the Fellblade. He'll be fine.
Oh, you're going
you
forward
win.
ruled on us, are you? That's allowed.
The Land Raider is the biggest tank the Marines have in the book, isn't it?
Actually, Josh Death took 2 hunters or 3 hunters to the LGT and did very, very well with them. I got to play against him when he tested the list, and they can be surprisingly effective if they hit.
Well, they're cheap and their toughness 8.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
that's
T8, which
really
is
good.
great.
I
Then
just wanna
they
point out-
attack flyers or whatever.
Yeah. Well, there's so many things with the fly keyword now.
I hate saying I'm scared of perils, but
Yeah,
just like to
100%.
point out the fact
and
that I think
things
this
like
is the first time
Deredeo
that-
Dreadnoughts also have really good anti-flyer tech too. So I think it's one of the biggest reasons we haven't really seen a switch for flyer speed.
A hunter is what, like 70 to 100 points? It was
Very cheap as well.
Like 95,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's really cheap.
But another thing that it works well is, at least in his list, he had, I think, 3 of them. And of course, redundancy in any sort of competitive list is important. You want to take a unit or base a strategy around a unit, then take multiples of the unit. In this case, the Space Marine player has 2 the war suits, right? He's got a couple of infantry squads. So he's got synergy within the list itself. However, you need units that can be used for different things. Like a toughness 8 chassis can be used as a wall or a screen, or can be, used as bait, or zones out the backfield. There's a variety of different uses for it.
In this case, it's holding down that corner of the board.
And that's the thing. In this case, things like that, like a hunter or centurions, you want to just sit in a spot. Like I would try and put them in a position like just touching the objective, so that I can use the rest of my army to move up and put pressure on the opponent. And units that don't really have to move or things like that can just stay on an objective and be useful more than just shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they actually
Hunters just aren't worth shooting.
They get to place the objectives in this mission too.
Yeah, I also want to think if he maybe used the hunter as just like a mobile wall. Like against his army, he doesn't have a single unit with the fly keyword. So just kind of put it up front of all the dreadnoughts, and then every time something charges it, you just back it up, and you can still shoot at -1, but who cares?
Yeah, exactly. And with toughness 8, when most of these demonettes and whatnot are wounding you on 6s and whatnot, it's just one of those things that you like, here, kill this, at least you're not shooting my levy dread or attacking my Invictor warsuit or my infiltrators or whatnot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, with a big demonette unit, you have to be careful that you don't get wrapped. And then you can just heroic in the or you can charge in a keeper of secrets, and then you can't shoot it. Although, can Slaanesh fall back and charge?
I don't think so.
Can what, sorry? I missed.
Can the Slaanesh, can they fall back and charge?
I don't believe so. They can advance and charge, but they cannot. They don't have anything that allows them to do shenanigans like that.
So
they're not Space Marines.
There wouldn't really be any benefit.
Later tonight, I'm going to be streaming Blackstone Fortress on the Scudcast channel. If anybody wants to hang out, that's
what time are you doing that?
That's 9 p.m. Central Standard Time or 10 p.m. Eastern Standard.
How far are you guys into that? Is this the first mission, or?
It's gonna be the first we've got 4 explorers. We're gonna do the first dive into the Blackstone Fortress.
That's super exciting. I want to watch that.
Yeah, it's such a good game.
So much fun. I'll be the hostile player, so I'll be acting as like a DM, and I'll be controlling the hostiles.
Watch out for those spindle drones.
Those things will get you. Actually, the Urgles, I think, are really nasty as well.
Yeah, they're really fast, if I remember correctly.
So right now, it's looking like we have the Navigator, we have the Eldar Sniper, we have the Rogue Trader, and the Twins.
The Twins
are
really powerful.
A lot of fun to play.
Yeah, they're very good at retrieving objectives and things like that.
Yeah.
A good combo we found is it the Navigator with the the Psychic Shield, and then the robot.
Huh.
They can kind of hang out on a hex together and just have really high defense. And then you can't move past them.
Shameless plug over here. We do actually have ferromagnetic Blackstone tiles.
Really?
Yeah, the Trihex set. Over
I
at
dig that.
themagnabaron.com. That is a game actually I do want to play though, Blackstone.
Me too. I've got a set. I just need to get it painted up and play it.
Okay, let's start some charges. Charge number 1. Hellbane into both. Into both. Okay, here we go. I need to eat up both. So here's the D6.
Players.
Okay,
that one is nice.
2, 4, 6.
Is there a
We're
chest
charging
plan?
now. We're charging the named Greater Demon into both the tank and the Invictus Warsuit. I don't really know if that was the right move, but I wonder if you could just try to consolidate in. I wonder if he's trying to save the other Demon Prince. Wonder what the thought was there.
2. Okay. And need 5s.
Blade of Glory?
Nothing. Or 1. 1. So 5.
Well, to be honest, I feel like the Slaanesh player just needs to keep on holding that central objective and just take out key targets. Did that Invictor Warsuit on the flank not get damaged?
No, he did some damage to it, but he ended up killing it. I'll tell you how many wounds he's got left.
It has very little.
It has 2.
There you go. Neg 2.
So you're looking at... Did the last cannon shoot at it too?
I do believe so. I think he just kind of whiffed.
She needs to absorb all of this though, because my 2 only has 2 wounds left.
8, 10.
I mean, a Laskin is only -3, so 3 up to hit, 3 up to wound, and then a 6 save, or you get a crummy damage roll.
Both players are also out of command points, so there was no chance to try to reroll any dice.
Right,
I'm
and those-
surprised the Space Marine player didn't save one for Gullum and reroll getting back up again.
That's what I thought he was going to save it for. I thought he was going to run him out there and maybe kill the Demon Prince and then just kind of soak some fire or just soak everything and then just stand back up again. But maybe he's worried about giving up Kingslayer.
let's be honest. He's just really confident.
He don't need no reroll.
That was just a hit. How about the wound? Oh.
Not to disparage anyone's hobby, but these folks are playing for the spoon.
I know, there was a lot of 6s. 2 and -2. So
One of them will be surely disappointed.
6 up to 7.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they would be happier to win or lose this match.
It's a matter. I think we discussed this earlier. It's a matter of pride to lose this game. So one of them will have done this better than the other.
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of skill in winning the wooden spoon at a major event. So
Okay, and then the last charge. It's only
take pride in
Exactly.
your accomplishments.
We negotiated needed a 7. Yep. Good deal. So
To be fair, though, they are having a lot of fun.
the hand of Dominion. I know. Sickness reroll.
The wooden spoon tables usually are the most fun.
He gets to reroll everything.
Well, and I've played both these guys. Obviously, Dennis on the podcast, and Nathan's another friend of ours from Kansas City. Teams are 2 of the best opponents that I've ever played. Like, every game I've played with them is so much fun.
2 at,
I'm glad that they're on the stream because, yeah, this maybe not be the most
-1. Okay, so 5 up to
technically
6
proficient, like,
apiece.
but
One goes
I like the
to
fact that we're streaming a fun,
Feeling pain?
friendly, casual game here, and I think it's a good way to start off the event.
Yeah, I have
Couldn't agree more.
You're not
And it's a close one too.
Agreed. Yeah, they're making us bite our nails here, being like, who's gonna be the loser?
probably something I rolled. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'll kind of be honest. I kind of figured that Nate was gonna be out in front by a lot more at this.
Would've, like, crunched him.
Some of his shooting didn't go as well as I expected it would.
They are both capable of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Did the contorted epitome just die to Overwatch?
I do believe it did.
Yeah.
Well,
Womp.
Wah, wah, wah.
Gilliman stared into the abyss of the mirror.
He looked at those infiltrators. You better kill her. Like right now.
Which is good.
That would have been pretty funny for Gilliman to just drool for the rest of the game.
Well, just for the one phase, but yes.
No, it would have psyched him out.
And then made him useful. I feel like now the Nate, the Space Marine player here, if he survives the charge here with the two Demon Princes against his the two characters against his tanks down in the middle of the board at the bottom there, brings the infiltrators back on the objective or the hunter, and then starts moving the Centurions up the line with Gulliman to hit that middle of the table objective. If you can hit that middle of the objective and clear it by turn 4, it'll allow him to win the game.
Yeah, for sure.
However, Celeste and the Keeper of Shalaxi Hellbane may pull through here.
Oh, no. He does not blow up. So he's gone. Whoops. And then her. 2. Take 6 up, feel no pain.
How much time's left in the round?
Down to 5.
Celeste is in. Oh, yeah. Both the Invictor
Hour
and the
6
Sakaran.
minutes.
Both the Invictor and what?
The Sakaran.
Okay, that cleared out the middle of the board. I feel
Ooh, that hurt.
But both of them are
Yeah, they both got in combat near the bottom of the screen there, and that's all she wrote.
Okay, but right now I got you.
The Ultramarines are running out of units.
And
That's why you charge both those units.
Right.
Yeah, because now Gulliman has to go down into the middle there and deal with both of those characters, right? Which he should be able to do. The Last Cannon Centurion Devastator should be able to put some hurt on the Demon Prince. And then Gulliman should be able to charge in and do some work there with the help of the Infiltrators as well, with the Hunter. But then that second wave of Demonettes comes in and just ties up the rest, that just ties up the Space Marines and could potentially get the bonus point as well because they're OBSEC.
Right.
Yep.
Well, I'm just going to keep this here. It's a 12-inch flamer.
However, good use of that Thunderfire Cannon, could see a bunch of those Demonettes dying, or he shoots at the 10-man unit and gets the Invictor Warsuit to charge into the Herald that's helping protect that objective with the Demonettes, and then maybe he gets the bonus point, which would help him.
They haven't done anything. Well, they're trying to get over there to take.
Give it a minute. We might see Slaanesh running out of units. It's top of the turn right now, so.
It's definitely.
No,
this is
it
only
just switched
turn
over to
3 now.
Yep. Top of 3.
No, this is the bottom.
Bottom
of
of 3.
Bottom of 3.
Oh wait.
And then
who's
those
going right now?
infiltrators moving up the side, I think, will be relevant. I personally would have not just moved them; I would have advanced them so that they would be relevant next turn.
So the Slaanesh player was able to get 3 big game hunters and 3 recon points. So he's sitting at 13 right now, and is likely going to hold more as well. So that'll be 14 at the bottom.
Yeah, it'll be. I feel like the Slaanesh player picked his secondaries a lot better than the Ultramarine player for sure.
Now, if Gilliman just goes crazy, it might not matter.
Did Space Marines pick Headhunter?
No, Kingslayer, but he already maxed that out.
Kingslayer was not a terrible one. Kingslayer against non-Gilliman is a fine decision.
No, Butcher's Bill was really the worst one.
That should have been Headhunter. With
Headhunter or Engineers or something that would be easier.
Yeah. What was the third one? It was Butcher's Bill, Kingslayer,
and Reaper.
I'm surprised he didn't send Gulliman out towards the Keeper Secrets. Maybe he's very confident his shooting can take both of those things.
Are they wounded heavily?
Shalaxi only has 5 wounds left.
sixes is the question. If I can, I live. Yes.
Yeah, I would have done engineers,
That's a 0.
then headhunter and Kingslayer.
And there goes Celeste.
Or old school, because you can.
Yeah, or old school.
Because of the way the Marines are going to play, they're going to play defensively and then push out later.
So now
Yes.
the Centurions are shooting at Shalaxi.
The only reason I wouldn't have gone old school is because if you go old school, the upside is similar to headhunter, but if you start getting pushed into, start spiking down, or your push out gets clocked out. So if you get nearly tabled and you're getting beat real hard, if you say had headhunter, you could still max it out. Versus old school, you might not be able to if you're getting beat a little. Case.
I think.
Yeah, that also makes sense considering a lot of the Slaanesh characters are very aggressive characters, so they have to be in the thick of it to be useful.
Yeah.
Also, taking old school, it'd be kind of hard to get into the deployment zone because it was the 2 triangles. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but trying to get like any of those Marines into this actual deployment zone would actually take a lot of effort, trying to dodge all the other stuff that he had.
Well, I think if he'd taken that, I think you would have seen him infiltrate a lot more stuff, like what we talked about earlier with the Invictus war suits potentially coming in off one of those corners. That could have that old school secondary if you take it.
Yeah, for sure, that would have been the play.
If he
So,
had the rhino, if he had the impulsor, I would have said go for it. In this list here, yeah, it would force him to play a little bit more aggressive, which is actually could have played better into his hand, and keeping a Slaanesh out of his back lines.
So it seems like he was able to get those 2 characters out with his shooting quite effectively. So that's a positive for the Space Marine player. That also gives him another butcher's.
There you go.
Wow.
I just
Hey,
want
he
to
can
point
still
out
max
that
that
I
out.
think that this is the longest a Las Cannon Havoc unit has been on the table in the history of 40K. I spoke too soon. The sergeant just died.
Definitely
died?
one of those things you'd think that you need to kill.
I almost would have pointed. I know, like the Leviathan want to point it at something important. If the rest of your shooting to take out the Havocs there, you almost want to point one of the storm cannons at the Havocs just because they have to go.
For sure.
Because especially in this tank heavy list, like it's like I don't want to do it, but I don't want to lose my Leviathan, so goodbye.
And also, you think of it too, that saves you some command points from having to use that stratagem to half the damage. You just kill those las cannons, everything else is 1 damage, you're like, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they weren't more of a target prior.
I've definitely used Hemlocks to kill Devastators before.
Anything that has like guns like that can shoot you is like a big priority, especially if you have a lot of tanks. Killing the enemy's ability to kill your tanks just makes your tanks all the more powerful later in the game.
And something to remember, those Havocs are expensive.
They're not that expensive.
30
They're only
points a model.
$60. You mean not money wise?
Well, both. But
They are 30 points a model though.
yeah, and that's 130 points. There's 4 las cannons in the squad, right?
Yeah.
130 points for 4 last cannons though is not terrible.
No, but it's too
150,
easy to
I
kill
think.
it.
Oh yes, they die very, very quickly, but at least they have punch.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
they're cheaper than a
it's-
Predator with 4 las cannons. And it can move and fire with no penalty. The Havocs, I mean.
Yeah. No,
And they can shoot twice.
Yes.
So it's like you're getting 8 last cannons for a turn at least. And if you position them well, not in like in this case, they're positioned in a position where they're in the middle of the table and they're lucky they haven't been shot. But if you put them in a position where they can see the target they want to shoot at and nobody else can draw a line of sight to them, using like a building or something like that for line of sight purposes, then you could get a lot of mileage out of them.
Yeah, I wonder if he wouldn't have put those Havocs like in that far right-hand corner L-shaped building on the bottom floor just in case he seized, and then turn one, move him up, and then just stand there and obliterate things from that far away, and then maybe put that Chaos Lord on the bottom floor, giving the whole thing reroll ones to hit. I wonder if that might have been a good idea.
If you had back and forth deployment with Havocs, there's no reason not to deploy them out of line of sight and then move them into position, unless you're, of course, Black Legion, in which case you keep one unit like the Last Cannon Devs or Last Cannon Havocs in a position they can see the whole board so they can shoot if the opponent goes first.
Yeah.
Yeah, using the Devastation Battery.
Yeah, which is one of the coolest stratagems you can use for like Havoc.
I'll definitely be using it with my Black Legion.
No, they can't fail.
So I haven't gone through the Chaos book in detail. What's that stratagem do?
Yes, they can fail. They've lost 5,
So it's for out of the Vigilus Ablaze book, it's a Devastation Battery, which is a special formation. You can pick a unit of, I think, Obliterators or Havocs to shoot after the opponent has had their first movement phase if they go first. So they get to move, and then you get to pick a unit and shoot with it after they finish their movement.
That's nice.
Yeah, so you can be like, my 4 Last Cannon Havocs are here on this big building. You're going to move, and then I'm going to pick, I know, that Dreadnought or that tank or that unit, and I'm going to shoot it with my guys before you even get a shooting phase.
I feel like as a Black Legion player, you should ask your opponent what his favorite unit is, and that's the unit you should shoot.
Playing the psychological warfare aspect as well.
Always.
Oh, my Guardsmen, they're my favorite.
Heavy bolters it is.
That's what chain cannons are for.
It looks like the Space Marines were not able to pull ahead. Slaanesh is 13-10. The Space Marine player was not able to kill more and was not able to hold more. And then he only got 1 Butcher's Bill and 1 more Reaper point.
I'm pretty sure the Space Marine player killed 3 things, and the Slaanesh player killed 2 things? Or did he kill 3 things?
The Space Marine player killed both the Demon Prince and the other demon, the Greater Demon, and then I wonder if he forgot the mirror.
No, and the epitome.
Yeah, the mirror was in the it doesn't count for the kill for that turn. For the battle round, it does.
No, he. What else did the Slaanesh player kill?
The Slaanesh player killed both the Invictus Warsuit and the Sakaran.
Right.
What else?
So maybe he did miss a kill more.
Yeah, because it seems like the Space Marine player should get kill more. I'm pretty sure.
Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Where's
Sorry to interrupt you
Kronos,
guys.
by the way?
What all did you kill this last turn? You killed the 2 tanks, and then what else?
Just those 2. Just the 2 tanks.
Okay. Or the Dreadnought and the tank.
Yeah, Dreadnought.
Sorry. And then you.
It was the tank and the Warsuit.
Yeah. So then on yours, you got these 2 guys,
Yep.
and did you also count the Epitome that died in Overwatch?
She died in Overwatch during his turn. Right.
So it didn't count as a Butcher's Bill, but you got kill more.
I got no. I got the Butcher's Bill for these 2.
Right, but
Yeah.
so you only killed 2 things, and he killed 3.
Well, he only killed 2 on his player turn.
Kill
But at the end
more
of the
is
battle
player
round is
higher.
kill more.
Okay, then yeah, give him the play more.
So you would have gotten kill more.
Okay, so we had that wrong.
There you go.
So it's 11
That's
to 13.
perfect. Excellent.
Oh,
Thanks,
and
guys.
where's Kronos hanging out?
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because it's battle round for Gilmore.
Kronos.
Kronos,
Where did he go? Is he in the Hunter?
He's in the Hunter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's-
Okay. I don't think he can go in a Sakaran,
I
so
got
he's just hanging out in a Hunter.
Still have a psychic phase. So let's go do that.
You can't go on a Sakaran. That's so sad.
Well,
Smite on that thing.
let's just say that 1 rocket hits on 2s really well.
Oh, super smite.
And it has toughness 8.
Only 1.
Does it still get -1 to hit ground targets? So it's only hitting on 3s?
I don't think it matters. Okay.
No, Kronos
Okay.
ignores the penalties.
That's the
doesn't it?
Sky Hunter, the one with the auto cannons, right?
I'm sorry, those guys don't scare me that much.
The Stalker.
That's
Yeah,
changing
thank you.
how I do things for the shooting phase.
Yep.
I thought it was the same model too. I was confused.
So now we've
dual
got
kit.
Demonettes coming up to fight Gulliman and then some Infiltrators. We've got the Infiltrators and the Invictor Warsuit moving up, but that Warsuit's dead now because Havocs are still alive.
Yes.
And we got those Infiltrators trying to make it all the way up to that objective. They might make it by turn 6, so we'll see.
Okay.
This is a real nail biter.
It's been a bloodbath. I love it. They've been slaughtering each other
Okay,
wholesale.
I'm still doing the hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s with lots of shots. So 2s are bad. 1s are okay.
There's
2s
a
are
one
bad.
here.
2s are bad. 1s are okay. Anything else?
Looks good.
Okay. 1s. Okay.
Looking
He
for
is
5s.
tough. Okay. So I
Yeah, I
need,
see 6.
so 5 to 6. I need the 5s. Lots and lots of 5s.
Okay, so out of the
weaken
new
him
Space
up
Marine
so
supplements,
when the
what's
Demonettes
your
get there.
coolest combo that you've picked up? Even in the chat, what's the combo you like the most out of the new Space Marine Codex and supplements?
That's a good amount. Yeah, it is. 9.
I'm about to think on that one. I don't know. There's so many.
All right, neg 1, right?
Yes.
So he's a 3 up.
Oh,
there.
I think my favorite is Kronos in a Hunter.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh, that. Oh my God. All right.
That oh man, I don't know who else has thought of that, but that should be new meta, right?
Because my next shot is.
Yeah.
before last came
This
out.
is what the Iron Halo is for, to set the meta.
I'm pretty sure he's closer, but just for the sake of argument.
Fair enough.
I still can't get over the Devastator doctrine on things like Fire Raptor.
27.
26, a little over 26.
I
Lots of
haven't
heavy
passed
guns
that.
on that.
Yeah, I bet you are.
The
8
Devastator
heavy
doctrine-
bolters with AP2.
26, yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, it works great on a Redemptor Dreadnought too.
It just does so much work everywhere.
Oh yeah. So Bobby, take some late
Something that I'm a fan of is
re-rolling one.
maybe not a combo, but
Now
I
the
feel like
threes.
the chaplain's aura that allows units plus 2 inches to charge within 6 inches is one of my favorite new things to use, and I feel it's underappreciated in the current meta.
They go through.
I do like that. I think chaplains in general got a buff. Just their ability to like pray for something that happens. I think that's really cool. I'm really glad they kind of did that. It gives them something that's unique on top of just being like amazing.
I find myself using chaplains again. One of my favorite units is the Venerable Chaplain Dreadnought from Forge World.
Yeah.
He's a character, has really cool units, and he gets the litanies as well. He has been an absolute beast.
Yeah, I would say he's BANANAS or whatever. He is absolutely bananas.
Okay, so the plus 2 inch to charge thing, that allows 7-inch deep strike charges.
So it allows 7-inch deep strike charges. Remember, I play Black Templars, so I get to reroll any and/or any of the dice, which is great. But the thing that a lot of folks don't read the second part of that litany, which allows units within 6 to pile in 6 inches and consolidate 6 inches, makes them crazy fast when they get up close. They
I know
can
this is
plug
really bad
holes,
radio, but I
tie
just
things
had
up.
like a jaw drop.
And I think that is something that people aren't reading as part of that, and that alone has won me games.
Because
Oh my
so if you
goodness.
only get a 7-inch charge, you're about to go 19 inches with that unit. Because you add
Well,
another
they have
6
to be
somehow
within
consolidate.
6 inches to use the aura thing, like every time they do a move. But for
Oh,
example,
okay.
you could pile in 3 and then consolidate 6 inches away from the dreadnought and just kind of plug. Like my assault terminators have been amazingly fast with that new rule.
That's a
That's
trip.
gross. So
That's
I just wish that they had some kind of like warlord trait or some kind of special relic or something that allowed you to do more litanies, because like I feel like Chaos kind of missed out on that too. There's so many of the good litanies or their hatred ones that if you could just do 2 of them. Oh my goodness.
Well, Chaplain Cassius as an Ultramarine gets 2.
He does.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they give Black Templars some sort of love, that they'll have like a Reclusiarch, like either
under an hour.
with the chaplain, the special chaplain Grimaldus or whatnot.
I hope he
could
gets
see
that.
him getting something special.
I think there's another Forge World Chaplain character that gets 2 lit.
There is. It's the one from.
The Minotaurs, maybe.
I think so. One of those pesky Forge World chapters.
But that's pretty cool. Like, chaplains alone. Like, yes, the Slaplin or whatever they're calling him is pretty fancy, but I don't think he's as useful. I'm loving the new relics, like the Burning Blade got upgraded, and so did the Teeth of Terra got upgraded. So I'm really liking those as well.
That in a world where the Smash Captain exists, I mean, the Slaplin's a cool concept, but man, he's such a good support character that, I mean, the ability to add 2 to the charge and movement and all that stuff is just, I didn't even think about that. That's so good.
You know, we were talking about Berserkers earlier and how it was tough to get them into combat. A +2 to charge and a 6-inch pile-in would be great.
Oh, that would just be,
it would be
fantastic.
I'm glad
Cornflakes everywhere.
they didn't. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't give that to Chaos. We really didn't need that.
No, I disagree. I think Chaos absolutely needed that.
Yeah, I was being sarcastic.
Hey, Chaos OP.
Yeah, Chaos OP. The one thing, I love the new Space Marine Codex, but I'm really disappointed that Chaos 2.0 came out right before it, because I feel like they missed a lot of opportunities to treatment and add in some of these things, and it's really frustrating that Chaos keeps getting like behind the ball on that type.
We were so excited.
I mean,
new Chaos
we're
book.
still paying for 3.5. This is what the problem is.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I wonder how much they're going to fix in chapter approved.
I hope
Obviously,
so. I don't
not
know.
the supplement treatment, but
I will say that I did like the Hateful Assault rules. I'm glad that we kind of got something like that. It did kind of help out a lot of different armies. Death Guard in general, just the Plague Flail kind of made it good on Plague Marines. I know that you're not really going to take it super competitively, but...
Blight Lord Terminators alone.
Oh, well, they were already good to begin with, but I think just on normal Plague Marines, that Plague Flail, now that it's get 2d3, it's not bad.
There's a commissar wants to. Why, Valhalla? Why would you want a commissar to shoot me? Because I'm awesome.
By the
That's
way,
just hurtful.
it looks like Chaos was able to get their last recon point and their last big game hunter.
Wow.
Nice. So something else that I like about the new Space Marines are looking at some of the chapter tactics, like Ultramarine chapter tactics for fullback and shoot on things like Land Raider, Redeemers, and all forms of Land Raider.
that was the biggest problem with the Land Raider.
Yeah, biggest problem.
Are you coming for me?
I would love to be playing a bunch of Space Marine tanks, and I don't want to play Ultramarines, but I almost have to because of it.
That or run the Iron Hands with the 5-up Overwatch, which is crazy good too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the issue
those
is
guys
all
are gonna
my
be
Marines
tasty.
are Lamenters painted.
So
Which-
Blood Angels.
I actually am very confused about what I'm supposed to do, because if you go into, say, Battle Scribe, and you select your chapter under the Ultramarine book, Lamenters were given chapter tactics under Vigilus, which it shows up under the Ultramarines book. So you use the Blood Angel tactics, but I think you use the Ultramarines book. If someone in the chat can go tell me how wrong I am, I would love to know, because I'm very confused right now what I'm supposed to be doing with my life.
So we missed the Havocs were actually able to shoot Gilliman and drop him, and he got back up with 6 wounds remaining. So the Chaos player actually had a great turn and is now sitting on 20 points.
Yeah, Gulliman going down is really good, considering those Havocs are getting those points.
Yeah.
And then came back with a ton of wounds for him to get another point out of it.
Right. Well, actually, he did his shooting incorrectly. If he would have shot his squads in a different order, Gilliman would have been dead.
Well, but you always attack first anyway, right? No, you
Like, he killed him with the las cannons.
you'll attack before. Yes, if you don't charge anyone in, I will be going first.
Yeah, he las cannoned him away.
It's at the end of the phase, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you charge someone in, then you could have added, but.
Either way, that's a big turn.
Yeah. A lot of points to make up now.
Right.
Gulliman seems to be running away. It's those Havocs, those Havocs just doing work because they just weren't targeted. Now their like firepower is really showing.
Well, he made a mistake. He was out of position with Gilliman. Gilliman should have never been able to be shot.
Yeah, I won't triple my shoelace.
That also
Agreed.
makes sense.
You're deciding. Yeah.
His infiltrators on the side should have moved up a little bit so that they were the closer target.
Probably.
Yeah, they move in advance and make them targets. You had to shoot them. Not only that, but if they would have done that this turn, they would be going into that objective in the top and getting a bonus point.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so I can get. Okay. That gets me 2 shots at him. At her.
Although I will say I like the Slaanesh players' positioning of the Havocs in the middle of the board, sort of like using them more as like a core central part of his like.
It's gonna go ahead and try to nuke las cannon. Okay, a las cannon to a las cannon. I mean.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of playing out for him. If you think just kind of holding down the middle, it's just definitely tough. He's got too many options to kind of pick from when it comes to shooting either one or the other unit. I mean, those Chain Reaper cannons can definitely put out a lot of hate.
Nothing I can do. Okay, that's just a big nasty gun.
Yeah, I think Nate was I don't know, in his own head there about all the demonettes coming towards him rather than focusing on Havocs.
The las cannons.
Yeah, and that's where the stratagems like tremor shells comes into play. If you're worried about something Russian, you can slow them down.
Yeah, well, he was able to slow down the one big unit in the middle, but yeah, I think he misprioritized how much damage the Havocs were going to be able to do.
Yeah, well, he shooting twice, right? So shoot twice with the Thunderfire cannon, slow down both units, and then shoot the last cannons and the rocket launchers at the last cannons, Havocs, and take them out of the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, you're totally at 48. So
Although I will say I've been loving the Grav Centurions with the reroll wounds and damage grab.
I'm really glad they got that stratagem. That actually made grab guns pretty spicy. Just overall, I felt like they were pretty lackluster for too long.
They were only amazing for 2 whole editions.
Well, yeah, you're right.
How soon we forget?
Shall not speak of said editions. They are best left in the flame and fiery pit of the past.
Yes, sir.
And all your codexes from 6 and 7.
My dejected, yes. So 1 miss. Yeah, I can reroll that one. Okay.
Bonfire. Let's go.
2, 4, 6 at
I'm burning all my models.
-3?
Yeah.
3 at 6s.
Hey, next time someone wants to light their army on fire in a trash can, give me a call. I'll do it for you.
Oh, no, it's -2 because they're only.
Let's live stream it though.
So -2.
Oh, of course. They definitely won't be cardboard cutouts.
I mean, I guess I'm not better with 5 ups. Wow. Okay.
So as we are sitting right now, he didn't move his intercessors up.
Infiltrators.
Infiltrators. He didn't move them up. He just kept them there.
I think he moved them up just a little bit. I wasn't exactly sure. I didn't get to see that.
Okay,
I think he
Havoc's
moved
dead.
No rerolls, so 3 at -4.
I think he's focusing on the Havocs, and he's not
But
worried about
that
threatening
objective is worth a bonus point.
Isn't it worth 2 because he'd get hold more and
Yeah,
the bonus
it's
point?
worth that. Getting that objective in the backfield is a lot of points for him.
So, I think you're focusing on the wrong details.
So he's gonna be -1.
Yeah.
There's scoring points, and there's winning the spoon.
That's okay. Fair enough.
fair.
He's excellently going for the spoon here.
It just hurts both of us.
Destroy. That was a fail.
I guess I've just been, it triggers me when I'm like, you haven't used this unit. It could be doing so much more right now.
two 5-ups.
Hey, they don't care. They're like, we know you're.
Cool little piece of tech I've been adding to my army is a Forge World Dark Eldar Reaper.
Oh, Reaper.
That's the D6 shot, D6 damage thing.
Yeah, it's like a Ravager that does D6 last cannon shots, essentially.
Yeah, it's a Dark Eldar
Each gun?
Doomsday Arc.
It has one gun. Has one gun that does D6 last cannon shot.
I didn't seem very good. I don't know why you'd want to use something like that.
Because you can make it Dark Creed, and for 2 command points, it can snipe character.
Oh my goodness. You're kidding me.
I would like to hear more about that.
It also, if it kills a model in a unit, the unit cannot advance for the next turn as well. So it also has like some slowdown ability.
Does it have any little random guns on it, or is it just that one gun?
Just the one gun.
Oh, okay. That's still pretty funny.
Yes,
I mean,
it's
that sounds like
it's just one thing. That's it. That's all it does.
This is my favorite thing about 8th edition is you just find that like diamond in the rough unit. You're like, I want to see what this thing does, and then I just picture the first time you did that against somebody, they were like, wait, what?
I've used it once, and it was against knights, and it just did 3 damage to a knight, and then got shot to death.
Boo. You should have lied to me and told me that it like killed out, I don't know, like Creed or something. You're just like, haha.
If you put that on table against me, I'd give you a funny look and be like, sure, whatever. And if I went first, I'd just ignore it. And then you'd go and drop, I don't know, the solitaire because it was funny. And I'd just be like,
I'm looking forward to shooting whichever Iron Hands character has the -1 damage relic.
Yeah.
And then blowing him off the table, and then actually having my disintegrators be able to do damage against the repulsors. That would be great.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Wait, what's the... Okay, so I missed the second half of Iron. What's... the 6-up Feel No Pain. What was the other half?
5-up Overwatch on 5+, and also a count as double wounds for damage brackets.
Okay.
And if you're running a full Iron Hands army, move and shoot heavy weapons without penalty, and reroll 1s to hit with heavy weapons.
While in the Devastator Doctrine.
While in Devastator Doctrine, yes.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. I missed that last half there.
No, we
TM
don't need no
poster,
stinking
it is
captains.
150 points, yes.
5.
But the cool thing is then they have the relic that gives you -1 damage to vehicles within 3 inches. And then you have the half damage on a Dreadnought. So if you half damage a Leviathan Dreadnought that is -1 damage, all of a sudden if you do 4 damage, it's half to 2, -1 to 1, right? Unless if you're following maths. Which means the most you can ever do is 2 damage to it with 6 damage weapons.
So I guess, what is the order of operations on that? Do you have it first
It hasn't
and then
been...
-1?
It hasn't. No, they haven't put any sort of statement out of the order of operations. However, if you're using like math, like order of operations for like a math equation, you always divide before you subtract.
Right.
Also, they would trigger at the same point, possibly, which would mean that the controlling... Would it be the active player or the controlling player would get to choose?
Actually, I guess that makes sense. If it happens at the same time, the person whose turn it is would determine the order of operation.
That could be pretty funny. So they probably should rule on it because there's math versus order.
Hopefully they just get, like clarified in FAQ, but that's hope.
GW, if you're listening.
And then to wrap it all off, they can heal a tank 3d3 plus 2 wounds, or 6 plus d3 wounds.
This squad is not going to live past this turn.
Why did I paint my stuff Lamenters again?
Yep.
Such a lament.
I know.
Perform that magic again.
Yes.
4 and 1 for the Allures.
Just because I want every one of them to die every single game.
That's what happens in the stories as well. They just can't get a break.
6s will be AP -4. Otherwise, AP -1.
Pretty tragic, actually.
So 4 up.
I
It's
killed
a
one.
wound. They're 2 wounds of models.
Ah, stupid Primaris.
Yeah.
So they did not do much.
Seems like the Space Marines are clearing out that unit of Demonettes. They've cleared out both units of Havocs right now. The Chaos Lord is still in the middle there, but at least they prevented the demons from taking hold more.
Oh, they die.
Too bad I couldn't bank the one.
Yes, all the Demonettes are dead. He did roll a 6 for their leadership, so they are effectively gone. I do believe there's only like 12 models left on the table for the Demon player.
But they don't get it on the one because you don't have an icon. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
However, now it's so late, I don't think the Ultramarine player will be able to get like his Butcher's Bill and things like that anymore.
They're holding our score threat.
I wonder if this was just a too little, too late kind of deal, or if maybe he could pull it out.
You do not hold
I do
more
not hold
anymore.
more.
I got my butcher's
We will see. This is a nail biter. Make sure you grab that soup, dip those spoons into the soup, and slurp on it slowly.
Yeah, I only have 4 models left.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Bottom
Is this
turn
turn
4.
5?
And that is the end of the battle round. Get
That
excited.
is. So, as of right now, end of round 4, the Space Marine player got kill more, and hold. The Demon player got kill and hold. When it comes to secondaries, our Space Marine player has gotten 3 Butcher's Bill. He maxed out Kingslayer, and he's maxed out Reaper. And our Demon player got
He's
all 4
killed
Big
80
Game Hunter
models
points,
in total.
2 Kingslayer, and maxed out Recon.
I guess there are 3 squads of 30 Demonettes.
No, it's 2
25.
squads. 2 squads of 30 Demonettes.
No, he
And then
has one
15
in the.
Havocs.
There's only a 10-man squad in the back.
Oh, I see.
Oh, freak. I had picked. No, I didn't.
He may have killed him. He may have killed someone. I'm gonna go check.
I guess that makes sense with all the characters. You have all the characters, and then you have the Havocs, which is 15 man. Then you got 60, 75. Yeah, so yeah, makes sense. That he
Of
would
the
have maxed
Demonettes
out.
in the back corner, there's only 2 left. So he literally has 4 models left on the table.
Run away! There you go.
I am now hidden from. Those guys
Okay,
hurt me
so let's see what happens with this.
Because the Demonettes are closer.
Yeah.
Ooh, looks like it's tied.
Is this turn 5?
This is
This is turn
top of turn
5,
5.
So you get a hold. I get a hold.
Yeah, definitely. Now that definitely flipped it over to the Space Marine side as it stands, being that the Space Marines should be able to go in and clear those last 2 Demonettes with the Thunderfire Cannon to get a kill more in the next turn, which will be a big deal. And then he comes back late game with a bonus kill, hold more with those infiltrators up on the home objective for the Slaanesh.
Thunderfire is going to be your key guy.
They can't do anything now that they advanced.
Oh, fair enough.
But I'm trying to get.
Yeah, that was a big turn.
Definitely a big turn. Finally killing those Havocs. I think, now there's no teeth in the Slaanesh army. Slaanesh army basically hit his character and just did nothing. And now the Space Marine moves up and gets those infiltrators in the backfield. Goes for the kill on the Demonettes, gets kill more, and then on turn 6 moves in, kills the Herald, and then takes the bonus point.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of surprised he didn't go after the Havocs earlier, because they were the only thing that actually has any range in that Slaanesh army.
Oh, you're going to hold the middle from me.
Had he done
On-
that earlier, all his dreadnoughts would have, or at least the dreadnought on the flank would have been alive, and he would have
Exactly.
gotten the pressure like much earlier on. And
Yeah, and instead of this being a close game, it could have been kind of a walkover.
yeah, exactly. It's one of the things I find with lists that are like horde, low toughness, like Demonettes, or if you're running like a witch cult horde list, they tend to run out of steam at turn 4, turn 3, turn 4, and if the opponent has been able to weather the storm, they come back and then you just don't have enough left in the tank.
He's faster than a Demonette.
Exactly. Yeah, and the way this edition's set up, where everything dies,
Okay.
you just can't maintain.
Thunderfire.
Yeah, Thunderfire Cannon. It's gonna go at your 3 Demonettes.
I just put a link to the Reaper in chat, just in case anybody was curious.
Yeah, I'd never seen that vehicle before.
Oh, it's been a blast to paint as well and put together. I literally had it sitting in a box for, I want to say, 2 years. and I finally got scrubbed it, cleaned all the resin pieces, put the sail in hot water so it would straighten out, and then glued it, primed it, and painted it or started painting it, and it's almost done. And I've only put like 2 days worth of work into it.
Nice.
2 years ain't that bad. Also, I'm back.
Well, hashtag just put paint on it, as I like to say.
Hey, if the Blind Baron can get his models painted, then all y'all can get your models painted.
Yep, we both hold. That's it. All right.
That's right.
Turn now, then.
Every solution, every
Wow.
problem, every solution, just put paint on it. Hashtag.
Very fast turns.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Battle Round 5 was come and gone. And as you guys may have thought of it, the Space Marines are kind of sweeping up at this point. He was able to get kill more, and hold. The Demon player was only able to get hold. He's got 3 Butcher's Bill. He's, like I said, maxed out Kingslayer and Reaper. And then the Demon player hasn't gotten any more secondaries since the last time, so it's kind of looking like it's going to run away with it at this point.
What's the
Yep.
score?
I did my wound. I didn't get a kill one, but I did
Sorry, what was that?
Yes, you do get
What's
a
the score?
so
We're going to calculate it up
23
here.
to 21, it looks like.
onto the point.
Mm.
Okay, so with that, 2 turns ago, I would have told you that the demons had this in the bag, and now the Space Marines have pulled one right out of Gulliman's.
That's fine. Okay, this is the last turn. I'm not shooting.
Yeah,
Some would
basically
say
the
it was
Slaanesh
all-
player last turn only scored hold an objective, and the Space Marine player got hold one, hold more, and kill something.
It just goes to show you that Gulliman really is a tactical
Or
genius.
I guess hold one, hold more, and additional.
He knew. It was all along. It was his plan. He was like, wait for it. Let them fall upon us like waves on the rock.
As soon as they endow me with las cannons, we strike.
I will feign my own death, and I will rise again, and we shall push forward, brother.
All their shots into her. Are they within 12? We should
That's exactly how it went
Or
down.
are all of them within
He
12?
pulled the victory right out of his laser burned rear end.
I agree 100%.
6, 8.
Uh-oh,
And
Jason's here.
Kronos, you stay in that hunter. You're really useful in there.
I'm going to tell you, MVP right there.
Here's one.
I mean, we're giving that hunter a lot of flack, but it stayed alive the whole.
Poor turret.
Yeah.
It stayed alive
Definitely.
longer than Lascan and Havoc's.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So 3s.
It's not worth. Hashtag not worth shooting.
3. Oh, 3.
Yes.
If I can make these, it's golden.
Just put paint on it.
Yes.
Does she only have 2 wounds left? Yeah.
Primate blue.
You got her. All right, Thunderfire Cannon at Mr.
Did
Heidi.
I hope those infiltrators got onto that objective at the back. Can someone confirm that? Or
I
did
will do
they
just that.
not advance to get on that objective?
3, 4, 5, 7.
Unless he's gonna charge into the Herald to try to
Well,
get it.
I can tell you that the Herald died to shooting, and that those
So no
Space
bonus
Marines
point?
did not
Okay.
make it onto the objective.
Okay. Excellent.
We don't need your stinking bonus points.
We don't need bonus points, says Gulliman. We'll do it the old-fashioned way.
They just need to murder demons.
Winning on 3. C4, C4. Okay, so 3.
Well, this is the wooden spoon, so it kind of makes sense.
That's good
Yes.
news.
But only one player can get
Here's
the wooden
the-
spoon.
Here's the final roll for the poor Chaos Lord. Let's see if he can survive the Thunderfire Cannon.
7 and
Woo!
Yes. This is turn 6, right?
Yeah.
We're making exciting looking on this game, aren't we? Yes. At this point, they've left for. Well, that's what we're gonna do. Pretty soon. That's right. Okay, here we go.
Tank it like a boss.
Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I don't have any roll.
That Thunderfire cannon went ham on him.
Oh my
Holy
gosh.
moly!
It really did.
Ah.
If he gets tabled, that'll be like
Yep.
prime wooden spoon behavior right there. It'd be great.
Yep, that's just what
Oh, no,
happened.
I got nothing.
What? He wasn't touching the terrain to get cover there?
So that's gonna
Oh,
be-
he
we
must
got
have.
kill, we got
Okay.
kill
Oh,
more,
well,
hold more.
okay. Color me impressed.
Like that, but you shot her and Sid. Yep. Does that look correct?
That seems like an appropriate ending.
And that is game, ladies and gentlemen. I do have to run out, but thank you, Iron Halo TV, for having me on the stream. This was really fun to watch and comment. Don't forget, folks, if you want to join in tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the dive into the Blackstone Fortress on the Scodcast YouTube channel, and that's that.
Thank you, sir. We really appreciate you coming out here. Where might they find you outside of this?
You can head on over to Scodcast on Patreon, and all the links are right there, as well as the blog, which is just available to everyone to take a look at. I'll put a link in the chat.
Thanks again for coming out. We really appreciate your commentary, and hopefully Blackstone works out as well.
Because you saw what happened here. Oh yeah, like I mean, you get my lines and you killed 2 things like that. So
Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Have fun during the GT.
Bye.
Thank you.
It was great being on with the stream with you guys.
Yeah, good talking with everyone.
Yeah,
and I'm
thanks, guys. Bye.
There's nothing I can do about it.
And the final score.
Magna Baron here is going to head out too.
Thanks a lot, Magna Baron.
No, thank you guys. Thank you for having me on. Hope you guys enjoy that terrain. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what terrain you guys want. It's probably orcs, because that seems to be the popular claim.
I think that's what you do.
There is not enough alien
dive right in.
So terrain's a little bit harder to do up front. So it looks like orc might be number 1.
So hey guys, we're gonna do player interviews, so we're gonna cut this out.
Good.
And again, thanks for.
Yeah, I just stared too.
Final score was 28-21, Space Marines to Slaanesh.
There you go.
All right. Thank you all very much.
We'll say.
Hey guys, take care. Happy wargaming.
Thanks to you. I'm now done better than my last 2 majors. Because I gotta win.
And thanks to you, I am still on the quest for the wooden spoon repeat.
Actually, no, getting, I mean, honestly,
getting 20 plus points will probably knock me
21.
out.
Well, true. Yeah, you did. I mean, you like.
I killed a lot of your stuff.
You did. You killed quite a bit, and taking the Leviathan out so fast.
Alrighty, fellas. So round 1, it was a super intense game. Like,
yes, I guess it was. We had a lot of fun. So
Yes, we had a lot of fun.
the back and forth. I just thought turn 1 when you shot at the Leviathan and just did like nothing.
Yeah, I was
and then we were all thinking, why didn't you shoot at the Invictus? What was going through your head during that turn 1?
Flamers. I knew I wanted to get up into his line, and I was more scared of the Flamers just winning. His rolling 6s, even with a re-rolling 1, is not as scary to me as auto hits when I'm going to be charging up to his face in the next turn. So,
True.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts going into turn 1? It looked like it would kind of just like a Mod Podge of just kind of like.
Well, I made some mistakes. My setup was bad. So I castled up, which was fine, which is what my army kind of does anyway. But I don't think I castled correctly because I basically ended up having to split my groupings a little bit, which doesn't maximize Bobby G. Into turn 1, but the Thunderfire Cannon I knew was going to be able to do some work as long as I could make it. Spend the CP, make the 2 good units. Negative or have to charge and move.
That was effective.
Yeah, and I was hoping to take out the Warlord because I put Kingslayer on the Warlord turn 1. I got her down to 1 wound, but my target priority was a little off. My turn 1 for sure.
But it clearly paid off in the end. Bobby G coming through showing that he is the grand strategist.
Dude.
After he learns how to get back up after getting last handed in the face.
I mean, honestly, though, the thing is, that was another bad mistake, whatever, turn 4 or whatever it was when I moved him around, because I just didn't think about the fact that he was going to now be the closest unit. It's like, oh, thank you. I'm going to just unload all my Havocs into you.
Well,
It was
had to.
all according to plan.
I did not
so.
think the Demonettes truthfully could take him out. I thought they could wound him. Yeah. I didn't think they could take him out. So getting the heavy weapons, being able to turn to just unload, and I had some good rolls there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I think all of us here would like to congratulate you, sir, for being the first person to keep 4 Lavs Cannon Havocs alive for the longest I think I've ever seen in a game of Warhammer. So we appreciated you guys. This was an awesome game.
This was a lot of fun. I think Dennis and I, we knew ahead of time we were coming to have fun.
It was a great game, and I'll play Dennis any day of the week, so it's always good.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you.
The next round starts at... So the next round starts at 1:30, and we're going to go do some lunch and all that. You guys have a good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Oops.
Thank you, Jason. This was a lot of fun.
We didn't do it yet. What? What? Why is Dennis the underdog? I'm the underdog. I mean, it's your event, and this is my first at Halo, and he does currently hold the wooden spoon, so. Yeah, he did score 28 or 21 points.
Hey, I'm thinking that,